Another night of Idaho Falls Chukars baseball. John Balginy, Tyler Petersen speaking to you live from Melaleuca Field in the Jim Gar Show booth on Jim Gar Show Way. Coming right up, it's Chukars baseball. But first, time for the Toyota pregame show. And tonight's guest will be Bob Malaki, the Chukars pitching coach. Tyler will sit down and chat with Bob Malaki. That's coming up in just a bit. So why don't you sit back and enjoy another night of Chukars baseball on KSPZ The Sports Zone, your new home for Fox Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the Toyota pregame show. Tyler Petersen with pitching coach Bob Malaki. Bob, I want to ask you about the improvements on this pitching staff. The last few games, 5 out of the last 6 games, your starter has gone at least 5 innings. We only saw that once in the first 8 games. Is that just a matter of finding a groove, or is it now the pitchers are more built up, they can go a little bit longer? What's been the biggest difference?
I think it's a little of both, actually. I mean, we didn't have much of a spring training, so we're trying to get them built up in the same time as get them in a groove. You know, they haven't had a whole lot of reps, and they're starting to feel a little more comfortable with their delivery, starting to throw more strikes. They're able to throw their secondary pitches over when they're behind and ahead in the count, and it makes a big difference.
I was talking to you the other night about adjustments in delivery, whether it's something like an arm angle or arm slot, or just a matter of pointing the glove the right way when they come through. How easy is it to identify those kinds of changes you need to make, and then how easy is it to implement those changes?
Well, a lot of times, pitchers are drifting to the plate, and then they try to correct it with their upper half, and they fall off towards the first base side if they're right-handed, and third base side if they're left-handed. You can see those visually from the dugout and stuff. I mean, there's certain things you can't see where if a right-hander, if they're breaking their hands in the right spot before they deliver the ball. So it's all timing, and I think a lot of it, if we can take what we do in the bullpen and take it to the game, they're going to be all right. But if they start getting tired, that's when they start trying to compensate.
The team has cut almost 4 runs off the team ERA last 5 games. It's now 3rd best in the league. You have to be happy about that. It's now just above 6. The bullpen has performed much better in relief. It seems like the guys are feeding off of each other. What have you observed in this series so far?
Yeah, I think we have a good group of guys, and they're paying attention to what's going on in the game and how the starters pitching them, and then continue to bring that into the game when they come in. And the only time we really get hurt is when we walk guys, and all of a sudden the wind's blowing out. It's a 3-run homer instead of a solo shot. So we're trying to improve on that too. Our walks have gone down a lot.
Lastly, Bob, this offense is just crazy right now. You lead the league in runs scored, RBI. How does that change the pitching staff's approach to a ball game? I mean, do you have to always be in the mindset that this is a 1-run game, or can you relax a little bit and know, hey, I can just throw this right down the plate. I've got my defense behind me. I've got an 8-run lead.
I think it helps them relax a lot, and then they can go after them with their fastball and try to get outs, learn how to get outs with their fastball. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be trying to throw 2-0 breaking balls when you're up by 15 runs, even though we did it the other night. It's just because he was working on something, and so it doesn't look good. But they've been pretty good about attacking the zone, even when we're heading the count and heading the game by 15, 16 runs. It's not easy to pitch that way and try to pitch off your fastball majority of the time. So you use your breaking ball a little more often early versus late, unless it's like a 1-2 pitch, put away pitch.
Thanks for your time, Bob.
No problem, Tyler.
John, back to you.
Thank you very much, Tyler Petersen, and thank you, Bob Malaki, the pitching coach for the Idaho Falls Chukars. More on our Toyota pregame show in 2 minutes here on KSPZ The Sports Zone. John and Tyler, it's Melaleuca Field, our location on a Monday night. Rocky Mountain and Idaho Falls for the starting lineups. Here's Tyler Petersen.
First for the Vibes, and this is the 6th game of the series. Their lineup looks mostly the same. It's Brandon Perez at shortstop leading things off. Manny Ayoke, the former Chucker, in center batting second. Edgar Salazar at third, batting third, followed by Jacob Barfield, the cleanup hitter, at first base. Griffin Barnes behind the plate, he'll bat fifth, followed by Joshua Esparza in left field. He'll bat sixth. Aldo Nunez in right field again, batting seventh. Tyler Plantier, the designated hitter, batting eighth. And Eduardo Ceballos, the second baseman, batting ninth, behind Aaron Solis, who we see for the second time this season, first time starting. For the Chukars, it'll be Alexis Manji at short, leading off, followed by Webb Little at third. Andrew Don, the designated hitter, bats third, followed by Bronson Butcher, the catcher. Thomas de Bonville in center, batting fifth, followed by Sam Little in right. Daniel Martins Molinari bats 7th and plays 1st. Jordan Garr at 2nd, batting 8th. Chuck Steele in left, batting 9th. And Jake Binder, the unofficial ace of the staff, he will go tonight in his 3rd start of the season.
Jake with a record of 2 wins, no losses, a 0.81 earned run average. And for the Vibes, it's going to be Aaron Solis, as Tyler mentioned. No record with a pretty good 4.76 earned run average as the starters are being introduced. And of course the local Little League team joining the Chukars out on the field. And it's now time for the singing of our national anthem. And I think this gentleman has been around longer than I have to sing your Star-Spangled Banner, Mr. Rob Farnham.
At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and face the American flag in center field. And please welcome Mr. Rob Farnham in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars serve the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red banners bursting in air gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Rob Farnham, the Bob Merrill of Melaleuca Field.
Rob Farnham, the 4th tenor.
Yep, he can belt it out, no doubt about that. All right, Tyler, this is game 6 between these two teams. The Chukars have won the first 5. They're outscoring this Rocky Mountain squad by an average of 18-6. And you have your best pitcher on the mound. Things are looking pretty, positive for the Chukars tonight.
Well, you have to feel good. Like I was saying last night, John, you never write off any team in professional sports, no matter what field it is, no matter what level, anywhere. You don't do it. This team has won 4 games this year. They've lost 7 in a row. They don't want to lose an 8th in a row. So they got Solis on the hill. He's making his first start. And like you said, if you get a little, maybe arrogant about how you're feeling, you're putting 20 runs on this team a night, it feels like. You've got Binder out there who's allowed basically 1 run in 2 starts. If you think you're just going to walk out there and just cakewalk to a win, you'll have another thing coming. So you got to take this team seriously. You got to remember these are professional players, same as the Chukars. Even though we've seen what we've seen over these last 5 nights, you have to approach it the same as if you were playing Ogden or Missoula or Grand Junction or Boise.
The Chukars 9-5 coming in. They're 5-0 against the Vibes, and here at the Luke they're 8-3. Rocky Mountain comes in 4-10, 0-5 against the Chukars, and away from home the Vibes are 2-9. And this will be the second time that Jake Binder has pitched against the Vibes of Rocky Mountain. He pitched earlier in this homestand.
He picked up his 2nd win of the season against the Rocky Mountain Vibes on June the 2nd. 5 innings, 1 run allowed in a 15-3 decision, and he had good pitches working. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. Nothing is straight from Binder. Sinker, curveball, changeup, and slider.
Sunny skies, 77 degrees, your game time temp. Calm winds, although the winds have been varied. They were blowing in just a minute ago. And we're ready for baseball as Brandon Perez, the shortstop for Rocky Mountain, steps into the batter's box. Jake Binder on the mound, ready to get into the windup. And this ball game is underway at exactly 7:15. First pitch swinging goes to the second baseman. That's Jordan Garr. He makes the throw to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. Webb Little at third base today. Alexis Manji, the shortstop. Jordan Garr at second. And Daniel Martins Molinari at first base for the second straight game. Chuck Steele in left, Thomas DeBonville in center, Sam Little in right, and Bronson Butcher behind the plate as Manny Ayoke, the former Chucker, comes up to the plate. Manny on the year hitting .235, make it .250, but against the Chuckers he's had 2 home runs and he's had a double. 6 for 17 for Manny in his return to the Luke. And the first pitch from Binder is a ball high. Umpires for tonight's ball game: Rick Daly calling the balls and strikes, Mike Colson at first base, and Blair Peepo, your umpire, at third. 1-0 delivery. That's down low, ball 2. Jake, with 11 innings of work, 8 hits, has not walked a batter. He has struck out 7, and opposing hitters hitting only .211 off Jake Binder out of Syracuse, New York. 2-0 pitch, high, ball 3.
He's the only pitcher on this staff other than Mason Alexander, who just came in for his first inning of work the other game, or Jordan Garr, who pitched an inning and 2/3 in Missoula, who has not walked a batter this season, but hey, 3-0 here.
And Yoke takes it for a called strike. 3-1, taking all the way was Manny. On the season, 3 home runs and 9 RBI. 2 of those have been here at Melaleuca. Binder into the windup. Here comes the 3-1 to Ayoke. It's swung on and fouled out of play, and the count now full at 3-2. Manny was hitless last night. He was 0 for 4 in the ball game. He had a home run 2 nights ago and 1 3 nights ago.
Jake's confident. He came right back with 2 fastballs right in the zone. That sinker at 88. Ayoke fought it off, but that's some confidence out there right now on the mound.
3-2 the count. Jake into the windup after taking a big deep breath, and the payoff pitch is low, ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Ayoke brings up Edgar Salazar. Salazar has had a good series against the Chucks. He's 8 for 17, and he hit 2 home runs in last night's game. Left-handed batting third baseman. On the season, he's hitting .377, has 4 home runs. 1 out, 1 on. We're in the top of inning number 1. Ayoke with 3 steals. He's been caught 1 time. First pitch to Salazar right down West Broadway. For a called strike, it's 0-1 the count on Edgar Salazar.
I think it's worth mentioning early, John, that we have new changes to this roster today. 2 men were released from the game, or from the team right after yesterday's game. That was Brooks Benson and Ismael de los Santos, and 2 new Chuckers on this team now.
0-1 pitch, missed outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And those are Keegan McGinnis, a right-handed pitcher, and Steve Barmakian, both players who were this year at George Washington University in Washington, D.C., playing ball just 2 weeks ago at the D1 level, now here as professionals in Idaho Falls. 1
out, 1 on. Top of 1, the count 1-1 to Edgar Salazar. The Vibes have lost 7 straight games. That pitch outside, ball 2, 2-1. Vibes were 4-3, but now they're 4-10. Chuckers were 4-5, and now they're 9-5. Game number 15 on the season. We've had 12 home games and just 3 road games this year. 2-1 on the way. That's outside, ball 3, 3-1. But that'll change come Wednesday as Tyler and the Chuckers will head to Grand Junction for a 6-game road trip. And you can hear all games right here on KSPZ, the Sports Zone. 3-1 the count on Salazar. Ayoke with a 1-out walk to first base. Has a good-sized lead. There he goes. The pitch is grounded foul, first base side. And it's now 3-2. Last time we'll see the Chuckers for 8 days, make it 9 days, 2 travel days. They'll return home on June 16th for T-shirt night. 3-2, count on Salazar. He's number 3 in the batting order for the Vibes. There goes Oyoke. He swings and hits a ball left field. Chuck Steele's under it. He's got a read on it. He'll make the squeeze, and there's out number 2. And that'll bring up Jacob Barfield, the first baseman. 389 hitter. However, in this series, batting 5 for 20, a 250 average. One of the few Americans on this team, of course, this Rocky Mountain team, as we've said. The majority of them from Mexico, very young. I think they have 5 Americans on the team, older Americans, and 12 teenagers on this Rocky Mountain team. 2 out, runner at first base. Binder throws to first. Oyoke back standing up.
You know, age isn't everything, because I think Juan Soto was in the big leagues at 19, but the inexperience surely is showing in this series.
Now the wind starts to pick up coming in from center field. Another throw to first, this one off the mark. Daniel Martins Molinari playing first base for the second time in a row. Matt Feinstein still a little beat up.
Yeah, the word was he'll be ready to go for Wednesday.
Of course, Matt Feinstein leads the league in hitting. He's missed the last couple of ball games. First pitch on the way to Barfield is a called strike 1. Scores on a Sunday around the Pioneer League. It was Billings over Great Falls 9-5. Ogden beat Grand Junction 10-9. And they had a knockout derby yesterday between Missoula and Boise.
Yeah, and it was the last swing on the last pitch in round 1.
Pitch in the dirt. There goes Oyoke. The throw down by Butcher, not in time. That'll be a wild pitch. I don't think Oyoke was off with the pitch.
No, I don't think he was either. I was watching that game on it was funny, I was listening to the Hawks Facebook Live audio stream while watching the game on the Paddleheads Instagram Live, so I had a few different social medias going. But yeah, the first batter actually only took 4 swings, because the pitcher for the Hawks, Gary Van Tall, on the 10th pitch, bounced the ball up to the plate.
Oh. Get a new BP pitcher.
I asked Bob Malaki who's throwing, and he goes, I am. Bob apparently just puts pearls out there right at the belt.
1 ball, 1 strike. Oyoke, the runner at second base. By the way, Missoula won that ball game on the home run in the so-called knockout round. That's 2 this year in the Pioneer League. Pitched low, 2-1.
And interestingly enough, both of those knockout rounds were 1-0 wins for the home team, and it was the 5th swing of 5 that was the game-winning home run.
Chukars trying for win number 7 in a row before they head on the road. The kick, 2-1 from Binder. That's low ball 3. 3-1 the count. Of course, is Jacob Barfield to be followed by Griffin Barnes.
Of course, in Missoula, with that 287 to right, both lefties were chosen in each of those lineups to represent their teams.
Manny Oyoke, he's the guy who had the very first knockout home run win in professional baseball. 3-1. Fouled back, and it's 3-2. Count full.
It's a good little piece of trivia.
Another full count. This is Jacob Barfield. At second base, Oyoke, 2 outs. Manny walked and went to second on a wild pitch, and now timeout called by Barfield. Binder gets set, shoulder high, payoff pitch. Oyoke runs, Barfield swings, Barfield misses. And that'll do it for the top of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. After 1/2, it's Rocky Mountain 0. The Chukars coming to bat. moved on to face Aaron Solis out of Houston, Texas. He pitched against the Chukars in Game 2 of this series. He went 3 2/3 out of the bullpen. Gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. He struck out 6 in those 3 2/3, but he also walked 4. So Solis to face this high-powered, potent Chukar offense. I had to do a double check, but the team batting average has now jumped up to 396. Here's Alexis Monge on the season, hitting .444, 3 doubles, 10 RBI. And here's Solis. The first pitch is outside, ball 1. Edgar Salazar at third base for Rocky Mountain tonight. Brandon Perez at shortstop. Eduardo Ceballos at second. And Jacob Barfield at first. Next pitch. That one's a bit high. It's 2-0. Esparza in left, Oyoke in center, Nunez in right, and Barnes behind the plate. For the 4-10 Rocky Mountain Vibes. 2-0 pitch. And that's ball 3 now. And Griffin Barnes turns right back to the umpire and says, come on, where are those pitches?
Can't do that. You can't do that a lot.
The 3-0.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and now Barnes.
Uh-oh.
Barnes takes the mask off. He's really getting into the grill of Rick Daly, and he's going to be gone. Whoa!
Yep. Oh, there goes the coach as well. You cannot take your mask off and turn around like that. You cannot. Now, here's the thing. A regular batter's strike zone, those would be strikes. Monge is 5'5". That is not a regular batter's strike zone. Barnes is gone. He bumped the umpire. The coach is gone as well.
And Barnes still yelling at home plate umpire Rick Daly. So 4 pitches into the ball game, 2 have been ejected. And now Barfield, the first baseman, he charged in. He was called out on a strike. Actually, he swung missing, but. And strangely enough, Tyler, after the first game that Rick Daly called behind the plates, nothing but rave reviews from the Chukars coaching staff.
No, and I think he's got a great strike zone here tonight. You saw in the first inning, he was not giving those binders pitches toward the left side of the plate. And again, I think those are balls in his book. And as long as he sticks to that, it was a fantastic game he called the other night. And this is something we did not see early on, where there was a lot of complaining by teams early on. Umpires were being very lenient, but here you see a catcher on back-to-back pitches complain. When you stand up and take your mask off and talk to the umpire, that right there is about 1 step from ejection, and Barnes would not let up.
And he's still not letting up.
No, and I think Rick Daly did the right thing.
So we'll take a timeout. We'll have a new catcher into the ball game. We faced 1 batter, and it's no score here from Melaleuca. our first ejection of the year here at Melaleuca Field. Rocky Mountain catcher Griffin Barnes upset after 2 missed calls, or what he thought was missed calls. Turned around and got in the face of the home plate umpire, who gave him the boot. The manager's still on the field, so only Barnes has been ejected, and the new catcher is Antonio Villa-Escusa.
And like I said, I think these umpires have been very lenient early on, especially the crew that has worked here at Melaleuca Field. But Barnes crossed the line there. When you stand up to talk to an umpire and take your mask off face-to-face like that, and then after he was thrown out, there was contact made with the umpire. So that, in the big leagues, is an automatic suspension. I don't know if we'll see that here, but we got the tape.
Webb Little steps in, batting .535. Monge at first. Webb swings the first pitch from Solis. He fouls it off to our left, the count 0-1. Webb with 3 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. He's knocked in 22. Again, the batting average at .535, which is number 2 in the Pioneer League. Behind his teammate, Matt Feinstein, and ahead of his teammate, Andrew Don.
And I think it's worth mentioning, too, the frustration that has built up in that Rocky Mountain dugout these last 5 games.
Throw to first base, Monge back. Alexis 0 for 2 in swiping bases this year. So he has not been a good thief. And usually that's good. There, 0-1 pitch, a little bloop foul down the third base side. It's quickly 0-2 on Webb Little. Webb Little has been hot since the first swing of the bat this year. Missed about 3 games due to an injury, but didn't miss a beat at the plate. And he's played a good third base, second base, wherever the coach Billy Gardner or the manager Billy Gardner Jr. places Webb Little. The bat's always consistent. He's down in the count 0-2. Target set up on the outside, comes back inside to Solis, and Webb fouls it back. Oh, a crazy start to a crazy series. An ejection after 4 pitches in the ball game. 0-2 pitch. That's going to be a ball fielded by Barfield, and he's going to throw it away. The out is recorded at second. A one-hopper. Barfield airmailed the throw to the shortstop, Perez. He had to jump to bring it down. His foot came on the bag right before Little's did, so it's a fielder's choice for Webb. And Monge, the runner, out at second by 3-6 play. And here's Andrew Don hitting .509. Leads the Pioneer League in RBI with 29, has 4 home runs, he has 4 doubles. So the Chukars exchange runners, Little for Monge. There's 1 out. See a helicopter buzzing overhead here at Melaleuca. Hopefully not a life flight helicopter. Webb Little won stolen base this year. Righty-righty matchup, Solis against Don. Andrew swings at the first pitch, and that's fouled out of play in the count 0-1 on the Chukar DH.
I saw somewhere in minor league baseball this year we had a drone delay. Someone was flying a drone over the stadium, and you got to stop play for that.
Solis facing Don. 1 out, 1 on. That pitch high. 1-1 the count. How has Andrew Don fared against the Rocky Mountain pitchers? How about 14 hits and 23 at-bats? A .609 batting average.
All 4 of his home runs here at home.
The 1-1 pitch. That's going to be hit foul and again out of play into the parking lot. And Solis, after the 4-pitch walk, throwing strikes, the count 1-2. Solis, 24 years old. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. Hometown of Houston, Texas. The 1-2 hit into right field. That is going to drop for a base hit. Right fielder dove for it. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. and Webb Little's going to be sent home. Andrew Don is going to have a stand-up triple. The run scores, and as usual, the Chukars score in the first. Nunez, the right fielder, could have played it on the hop. Instead, he went for the outstanding catch. Did not come up with it. It rolled to the fence. Andrew Don, RBI number 30, his first triple. And the Chukars take a 1-0 lead, and it'll bring up Bronson Butcher.
Run number 37 that the team has scored in the first inning. They have 37 runs in the first, 30 runs in the second, and 30 runs in the third in their ball games.
Here's Bronson Butcher, tied for the league lead in home runs and the team league with 5. Catching for the third straight ball game, pitch outside, ball 1. Butch was 1 for 5 in last night's game. After hitting 5 home runs in 4 games, he's gone 2 games without a long ball. The 1-0 pitch, that's called strike outside corner, and it's 1-1, and Butch agrees with the umpire's call, which is a smart thing to do when you're a catcher.
You want to get your pitches their pitches?
Yep. Charlie Chukar doing his thing. 1-1 pitch, lifted foul and out of play to our right, and it's 1-2 on Bronson. Butcher on the season, hitting .324, a double, 5 home runs, 11 RBI. He's batting .400 against Rocky Mountain. Not a bad crowd on a Monday night. Still plenty of baseball to be played, so if you're driving around town, stop by. Enjoy some baseball. Pitch low, and it's 2-2. Well, Charlie's trying to get the wave going. And don't get me started on the wave. I know the fans love it, but it drives me absolutely crazy. And Debbie agrees with me. If Debbie agrees, I feel good about what I say. 2-2 pitch, that's outside, ball 3, 3-2.
The wave, of course, started in Oakland, California.
What, about 30 years ago?
A little more than that. This was about mid-70s.
We know who wears the pants, Bill. 3-2. Runner at third, 1 run in, and Butch fouls it back. The rally monkey got old too. I went to a couple of Angels games in those years, and I got tired of that thing. And now it's Baby Shark that drives me crazy. 3-2 pitch, that's low, ball 4. So 2 walks here in the inning. A triple by Don, runners at first and third, and it's Thomas de Bonville. He is the hottest Chukar. 14 hits in his last 21 at-bats. That is a .667 batting average. Thomas hit a home run last night. The Chukars have hit 13 home runs in this 5-game series thus far. Runners at first and third. Solis comes set at the belt. And the pitch to DeBonville is outside, low, ball 1. Chukars with a 1-0 lead, a leadoff walk by Manji, a triple by Andrew Don, and then a walk to Bronson Butcher. The 1-0 pitch, fastball outside, called strike 1. Thomas with 4 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs. He has 19 RBI this year. Solis, 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Chukars looking for their 7th straight win, and they have not been able to pick up any ground on first place Missoula. 1-2 pitch to DeBonville. Ground ball could be 2. Here's the flip to second for 1. The relay is going to be in time. Nice scoop job by Barfield, the first baseman. 6-4-3. The Chucks are out of the inning, but they score a run on a hit. No errors, 1 man left on base. We played 1. On your Monday night, it's the Chuckers 1 and the Vibes nothing. Top of 2, it'll be Villascusa, who was going to have the night off. He will lead things off, followed by Esparza and Nunez against Jake Binder. Chuckers scored a run in the bottom of the first. Couple of games in the NBA tonight. In game number 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Brooklyn Nets lead the Milwaukee Bucks 118-74. Nets lead that series 1-0. And tonight in the West, it's Denver at Phoenix, game number 1. The Utah Jazz will play the LA Clippers tomorrow night. So it's Villascusa. He is 7 out of 21 against the Chuckers in this series, .333 batting average. On the season, Villascusa is also hitting .333. The switch hitting catcher facing the right-hander, Jake Binder. And the first pitch, that's foul down the left field line off the netting right by the picnic area. And the count 0-1. Binder walked 1 in the first, struck out 1. Here's the 0-1 delivery to Villascusa. Ground ball right back to Jake. Fielded on the second hop. Underhands the toss to Martin Molinari, and that's out number 1. And here is Joshua Esparza. Hit his first home run in last night's game for Rocky Mountain. Esparza on the season batting just .179. Again, a very young team. I'm sure all of these youngsters, first time they've been in the States. They're living in Colorado. And the pitch is fouled off by Esparza. Taking long bus rides to places like Great Falls and Idaho Falls.
Staying at the Shiloh Inn here in town.
0-1 the count. Binder into the windup, and the pitch to Esparza is a swing and a foul tip held on by Butcher. And it's quickly 0-2 on the Rocky Mountain left fielder. We're in the top of the second, just underway on a Monday night. And the pitch is a swing and did he hold on? No, he did not. So we'll do the 0-2 again. 1 out, top of 2. Game time and Grand Junction on Wednesday will be 6:40. The Toyota pregame show, 6:25 with Tyler Petersen. Binder ahead in the count 0-2. The pitch to Esparza. Swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball, and that's out number 2. That's some late movement that pitch did. Second strikeout by Jake. Second out of the inning, and it brings up Aldo Nunez. Nunez 158 against the Chukars, batting .264 on the year. The left-handed hitter is Aldo Nunez. Squares the bunt, lays one down. It's fielded by Binder, barehanded. The throw gets away from the first baseman, and it gets hung up in the tarp down the first base line. That'll be a base hit and an error. So a bunt single and then a throwing error by Binder.
It's a fantastic bunt. We haven't seen a whole lot of bunts this year, but Nunez put down a great one. You're never expecting him with 2 outs.
And of course Jake had to hurry his throw, and it was just a bit wild. So that'll bring up Tyler Plantier, the DH. Playing in his 3rd game. He's 1 for 8 in the previous 2. Runner at second base with 2 outs. Binder gets the sign from Butcher. Checks the runner. And the first pitch to Plantier is down low. Ball 1. Plantier out of Poway, California. Poway. It's near San Diego. I know that. I think a big Air Force base is located in that city. The 1-0 off-speed pitch, called strike 2. One the count. I was a little premature with that strike 2. And now it's strike 2. I had a little premonition that was going to happen.
Nostradamus.
Yeah. 1-2 the count.
You enjoy that one?
I did. I like that one. Nunez at second base, 2 away. Chukars lead. We're in the top half of the 2nd. There goes the runner, and now the throw, and Little dropped it. That'll be an error on Webb Little. Nunez was off. Little wasn't even near the bag, but he did come to the bag, and he just plain and simple, I think he tried to make the tag before he caught the ball.
I like the awareness from Binder, though, to just step off and make the throw. He led Webb really well. He just didn't catch it, plain and simple.
So now a runner at third base. The count 1-2 on the batter, Plantier. Binder looking for a strikeout or any type of out. The kick, the 1-2. That's lifted foul and out of play.
And look out, Pregame reminder 2. Look out. Sure baseball and bats coming into the stands. So be sure to look out.
Again, no Chukars baseball tomorrow night. The count on Plantier, he's the number 8 hitter, 2-2, and that ball is called strike 3 at the knees. So another strikeout for Jake Binder. No runs on a hit. There were 2 errors and 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. It's Idaho Falls 1 and Rocky Mountain nothing. Solis, who gave up the 1 run in the first, got out of what could have been a jam with a 6-4-3 double play ball to Bonneville. Sam Little, the right fielder, on the season hitting .341, but since coming back from the injured list, Sam has 9 hits in 13 at-bats. .692 batting average for Sam Little as the music continues to play on. And Sam just waiting, not in the batter's box. Now he's going to step in. Again, Little, Martins, Molinari, and Gar. Idaho Falls with a 1-0 lead. First pitch to Sam Little, a 2-hopper. Salazar, the third baseman, drops it, picks it up, makes the throw for out number 1. Salazar was playing even with the bag. A nice 1-hopper. He bobbled it, but picked it up quickly and made the throw to get Little for out number 1. Brings up the Chukars first baseman, Martins Molinari. Daniel hitting .396, 8 doubles. That's tied for the Pioneer League lead. 2 home runs, 18 RBI. And so far, Solis pitching a good ball game. The triple that was hit by Andrew Don, it could have been a single if Nunez had played it that way, but he went for the outstanding catch and didn't come up with it. First pitch is fouled off at the plate. 0-1, the count on Daniel. Right-handed hitter. Lights are on here at the Luke. Not a bad crowd. Some gray clouds. Here's a little roller, a slow roller to second base. Going to be fielded, and covering the bag is Solis at first base. Slow roller to Ceballos. Flips to the pitcher, kept covering. That's a 4-1 put out. And it brings up Jordan Gar. Jordan's batting average has skyrocketed in this homestand. He's now hitting .348. Hit his first home run of the year last night.
Great job by Solis there, John. All 3 guys on the right side of the infield, the first baseman, second baseman, and Solis went for that ball. Ceballos charged, and Solis got to the bag very quickly.
First pitch to Gar down low. So 2 out, nobody on base here in the bottom of the second. Chucks with a 1-0 lead. Trying to go 7-2 on this 9-game homestand. The 1-0 is low, 2-0 the count. Gar last night, all he did was go 5 for 5 and 6 RBI. He's got 10 RBI in the last 2 nights. Nobody on base this time for Jordan. 2-0 pitch is outside corner at the knees, called strike. 2-1.
Rick Daly's got that good zone working tonight.
Don't tell Griffin Barnes that. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's bounces up there, and it's 3-1.
Well, actually, I hope Griffin Barnes is watching the game right now, because he can watch on YouTube, as can anyone who tunes in right now. We've got on YouTube 67 people watching, which we appreciate.
I don't think Griffin's in any mood to watch this game. That pitch is a strike. Good pitch by Solis, painted the outside edge. So the count full on Jordan Gar. Solis into the windup. Here's the 3-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. And Solis retires the Chukars 1-2-3. We've played 2 on this Monday night. Idaho Falls 1 and Rocky Mountain nothing. Top of 3, it's a 1-0 ball game. 9-1-2 for the Vibes, Ceballos, Perez, and Oyoke. Other scores around the Pioneer League. Great Falls leads Billings 2-1. Ogden leads Grand Junction 4-1. And Boise and Missoula, they're tied at 2. By the way, next week when the Chukars are in Grand Junction for 6, Great Falls will play in Boise for 6. Ogden's in Colorado Springs for 6. And then Missoula and Billings play 3 at Billings and 3 at Missoula.
It's tough for the Vibes. Take on the best team in the entire Pioneer League.
We're just hoping the Mustangs can slow down those red-hot paddleheads. Here's Eduardo Ceballos, a .219 hitter. Bats from the left side. He's the second baseman, made a nice play in the bottom of the second, and the first pitch, a called strike 1. Ceballos, just 18 years old, switch hitter. Again, 12 teenagers on this Vibes team. 0-1 pitch, chopped foul, it's 0-2. Binder has walked 1, he has struck out 3 in the first 2 frames. Well, Tyler, you going to miss me while you're on the road?
I've spent a really nice 10 days here with you, John.
So you want to get rid of me for 10. I got you.
I don't want to get ready for 10. I'll get ready for you for 6, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for 10 yet. We will have 10 at the end of June.
Binder heading the count 0-2 to Ceballos, the number 9 hitter for Rocky Mountain. That pitch high, 1-2.
Of course, it's going to be hot in Grand Junction this weekend, so we'll be packing some shorts for sure.
1-2. Jake into the windup. The pitch to Ceballos is inside, 2-2. Again, Rick Daly, very consistent strike zone. That's all you want from an umpire. Know what to expect up there if you're a batter. The kick and the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be a 2-hopper. Manji. It took a funny hop, but Alexis hung with it. Great reflex by the shortstop. He makes the play for out number 1. And that one could have easily been a bad hop single, but great reflexes by Manji at short.
I don't know how he snagged that one. I really don't. Tony's infield has not taken a bad hop all year. That was not a very nice hop to Manji, but he stayed with it. Props to him for sure.
Here's Brandon Perez, the leadoff hitter. He grounded to Gar, the second baseman. 1-0 the score. We're in the top of the third. And Binder's pitch is low for a ball, 88-mile-an-hour fastball. You can bump that up about 2 or 3 miles per hour.
I got a note from assistant GM Chris Hall that Blackfoot American Legion is here as a guest of the Idaho Athlete Project. That's Billy Butler's training center.
Ball swung on and fouled. I think they're wearing the black jerseys with the green bees in the front. Knew it was either Blackfoot or Bonneville, but it's Blackfoot, so we welcome the kids from Bingham County. And it's Jefferson County night. I'm sure we have some 1J listeners out there. The 1-1 Binder to Perez. It's going to be fielded by Webb Little. He'll make the throw across the diamond for out number 2. Webb sort of slipped after he fielded the ball, but the throw was perfect, and quickly there's 2 up, 2 down, and it's Manny Oyoke.
Interestingly enough, only 1 fly ball so far for this Rocky Mountain team.
3 strikeouts, 4 groundouts for Vibe batters. There's Oyoke. He walked his first time up. Takes the Binder pitch for a called strike 1. Wind just slightly blowing in from center field. Jake into the windup. 0-1 pitch on the way to Oyoke. That's going to be a line drive past the diving Jordan Gar into center field, and DeBonville gets over there in a hurry. Nice play by Thomas DeBonville to keep Oyoke to a single.
Yeah, DeBonville went into a slide there to block the ball in front of him, and he got it in the glove too, so he was able to pop up out of that slide and fire it into second base.
second base hit for the Vibes. It brings up Edgar Salazar, who hit 2 home runs in last night's game. And they were no doubters, both of them over the right field fence for the left-handed swinging third baseman. Another helicopter flying overhead. First pitch is inside for a ball to Salazar. We're in the top of the third, a runner at first base, 2 outs. Chukars lead 1-0 on an Andrew Don triple. The kick, the 1-0 pitch, is a swing and a miss, and it's even up at 1-1. Friday night in Grand Junction, early start. It'll be a 6:05 first pitch, which means the Toyota pregame show on Friday will start right around 5:50. Binder turns and looks at the runner. That's Oyoke with a decent lead. 1-1 pitch, that's low ball 2. Manny has 3 stolen bases. He's been caught 1 time. So Rocky Mountain, they get Ogden for 6. At least they're home.
Here's my West Coast ignorance showing. Are all 8 teams in the same time zone, or is Boise in Pacific time?
Nope. Everybody's in the Mountain time zone. There's a fly ball. Little has it. That's Sam Little, the right fielder. He'll come in. He'll make the catch for out number 3. A weak fly ball hit to Little. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on. We go to the home half of the third. It's still Idaho Falls 1 and Rocky Mountain nothing. Bottom of 3, it'll be 9, 1, and 2. Steele, Monge, and Little to face Aaron Solis as they're throwing out T-shirts. Chuck Steele hitting .283 on the year. He has 3 doubles, a triple, 8 RBI. But Chuck has yet to go deep. Tonight would be a great night to do it. Steele to be followed by Monge and Little. 1-0 the score. Chukars lead here in the bottom of the third. Normally the Chukars have 8 or 10 on the board by now. Credit Aaron Solis, the right-hander out of Texas, Houston, and the first pitch is a called strike 1. Solis and his first baseman, Jacob Barfield, both from Houston, Texas. The home of those cheating Astros. Here's a weak foul ball. Went off the instep of Chuck. Count 0-2. And I used to be an Astros fan, being from Texas, but after the last couple of years, 0-2, the count on Chuck. Chuck, the man of steel, at the plate. That pitch high, 1-2. John and Tyler, nice to have you along on this 7th night of June. 1-2 to Steele, outside, 2-2. Solis has given up just one hit. That was the RBI triple by Don. He has walked one. He has struck out one. Actually, he's walked two and struck out one. And the count is 2-2. Righty-righty matchup. Solis against Steele. 2-2 pitch is a long fly ball to deep right center field, but it's going to be fielded by Ayoke in left center field for out number 1. If that would have been hit a couple of nights ago or maybe last night up in the wind while it was blowing out, it might have been out, but instead it's an easy fly ball for Ayoke. And it brings up Manji. Alexis Manji walked his first time up. When this homestand started, Manji was hitting .412. He comes into this game .444, so he's improved his average by 32 points. And the pitch from Solis, a called strike 1. Only 2 Chukars have seen their average drop in this series. That pitch high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Poor Webb Little went from hitting .619 to hitting .535. A drop of 76 points.
Tragic.
I know. And Daniel Martins Molinari's average has gone down, but he comes in hitting .396. Again, no big whoop.
That's just average on this team, Don, .396.
The hottest Chukar, Sam Little, his average over the last 6 games has gone up 162 points. There's a strike, and it's 2-2. To Bonville and Gar, they've had big homestands. Bronson, Butcher. 2-2 pitch to Manji, takes it low. Full count on Alexis or Alex. Billy Gardner Jr. coaching at third. Mauricio Ramos in the first base box tonight. 3-2 pitch. He checks the swing. Here's the appeal. Did not go, and Manji with his second walk of the ball game. And the batter is Webb Little. So far, so good for Aaron Solis, the right-hander out of Houston. Little reached on a fielder's choice, scored the only run on the Andrew Don triple. Webb, a left-handed hitter, so right-hander. Webb, 6'2", 190, foul ball. Nope, it's going to be hitting the left fielder. Is looking away, and it's going to be caught by the left fielder Esparza.
Nice play.
In foul territory for out number 2. I was looking down at my score sheet, and Esparza chased it down in foul territory. And here's Andrew Don. Could we have a baseball-like score tonight?
We've had one 2-1 game this season.
And that was a 7-inning ball game.
The next closest was 7-6 here against the Paddleheads.
So Manji at first with 2 outs. Don at the plate. He hits the ball hard past the second baseman, and Manji slips. They're going to throw behind the runner. He's going to be back. Alexis was going to motor to third, but he slipped on his turn. And Andrew Don, another 2-hit night. That brings up Bronson Butcher, as the Chukars will be looking for some 2-out magic. Boy, Andrew Don can just hit the baseball.
The story goes is that when Gardy was looking up stats on Jordan Gar, who was playing for the Jersey Wise Guys, he happened to see another guy on that Wise Guys team, Andrew Don, whose numbers intrigued him, so he gave Andrew a call too.
Yeah, what a job Billy Gardner's done putting this team together. I know it's early in the season, but I think Billy's picked a good team, and there will be more changes. Fly ball, shallow center field. Oh, it's going to be a pop up to the shortstop, very shallow. And Butcher swings. He's out on the first pitch. A pop out to shortstop Perez. No runs on a hit, no errors, and the Chukars leave 2 on the bases. 1-0 the score. We played 3 from Melaleuca Field on KSPZ. Three innings in the book. Your line score: Rocky Mountain, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Idaho Falls, 1 run, 2 hits. The Chukars have committed 2 errors. And for your middle inning play-by-play, let's go to Tyler Petersen.
Hey, it's a 1-0 ball game. That's the fewest runs you've ever given me, I think.
I believe so.
Jake Binder out there for his 4th inning of work. He's been very good so far. He's been very good all season. He'll face Barfield, Villa Escusa, and Esparza. Looking around the league, looks like Boise and Missoula still tied for 2-2 in the 4th. Grand Junction has taken the lead back from Ogden, John, 8-6 in the 3rd.
It's early.
It is early. Binders so far through 3 innings, 2 hits allowed, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. 1-0 the Chukars lead. The first pitch to the plate, and that is a little bit inside for ball 1.
By the way, when Barfield came up to the plate, I think he apologized to home plate umpire Rick Daly because Barfield got upset when Barnes got ejected. And I think a nice move by Jacob Barfield to smooth things out with the umpire.
Pitch to Barfield is fouled off his foot. Well, Barfield spent some time in the Indy Leagues. He's probably one of the more veteran guys on this Vibes team. He was very hot when Barnes was ejected. I saw the second baseman, Ceballos, and I believe Perez as well, trying to sort of calm him down, get him back to first base, because they didn't want to lose Barfield as well, because this pitch is fouled back and out of play, 1-2. Because you lose your 5th place hitter, Barnes. They were giving Villa Escusa a night off, and then you wouldn't want to lose your cleanup hitter as well. And that's what Barnes is. He's batted cleanup, I believe, in every game. Indeed, he has his 6th straight game in the 4 spot. This pitch is low from Binder, 2-2. 1-0 Chukars. Top of the 4th, base is empty, and no 1 out. Just 2 hits for each team, 2 errors for the Chukars, but hasn't hurt them yet, as that helicopter makes another round through Idaho Falls. Right above Melaleuca Field. Denver and Phoenix just starting in the 2nd round of the NBA playoffs. Pitch from Binder, a ground ball towards Webb Little at 3rd, takes it on the 2nd hop. pump fake and throws onto first to get Barfield by a few steps. 5-3 on the putout, and that's out number 1 here in the top of the 4th. And now here's Villa Escusa, a switch hitter batting left here. 4 men came to the plate in the first inning, which means Barnes didn't get to hit in this ball game. Villa Escusa hit for him in the second, and he hits for him again here in the 4th. Defense straight up, middle infield actually playing back on the grass. Gar one step back on the outfield grass. Manji playing at the edge of the dirt. First pitch of Villa Escusa, ground ball towards Molinari. Slowly hit. He's going to take this to the bag himself. 3 unassisted on the putout, and a 1-pitch out for the second out of the inning. 2 ground balls, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Joshua Esparza, who, if you just look at the batting average, hasn't had such a great season, but he's hit the ball hard. He's had, I believe, 3 doubles in this series.
And a home run last night.
And a home run, that's right. His first of the year. Right-handed hitter. In left field once again. Pitch to plate is low for ball 1. Binder walked his first batter of the year back in the first inning. Binder from the windup. Here's the 1-0 to Esparza. Ground ball foul. It's a slider that ran in on Esparza's hands. 1-1 the count. It's the 4th inning, John, so we like to do our This Day in Baseball History. Like to see what happened on June 7. Here comes the 1-1 from Binder to Esparza, and this is hit. Little pop-up over the Chukars dugout and out of play. State in 1994, A's outfielder Ricky Henderson stole his 1,100th career base. Of course, he has the all-time stolen base record. Pitch from Binder, swung on and missed, has the good slider working tonight. 4 strikeouts for Binder. 1, 2, 3 go the Vibes, and we head to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 on a Monday night from Idaho Falls on KSPZ 980. Welcome back to our ball game. Bottom of the 4th, Chukars lead 1-0, only a 1-0 ball game. Strange to see this year in Pioneer League Baseball. Tyler Petersen and John Balginy bringing you tonight's game. A new right fielder now for the Rocky Mountain Vibes as Juan Barboza replaces Aldo Nunez. Here's Thomas de Bonville. He'll lead it off for the Chukars. De Bonville, Sam Little, and Daniel Martins Molinari, the first 3 hitters to face Aaron Solis, who has been good. First pitch to Bonneville. Strike on the outside, says Rick Daly. It's 0-1. Second pitch to Bonneville. This is off the hands towards center field. In comes Ayoke, still coming in. He'll make an easy catch on the run, and there's one out in the inning.
Chukars with only 2 base hits, and both by DH Andrew Don tonight.
So here's Sam Little. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to third base. Got only one more this day in baseball history for you. In 1966, the New York Mets had the #1 overall pick in the June free agent draft. First pitch to Sam inside, and instead of taking Reggie Jackson, they took catcher Steve Chilcott, who played 6 years in the minors and would be the first #1 pick to never play in the major leagues. A's took the Reggie Jackson with the second pick out of Arizona State, of course. Next pitch fouled away.
Typical Mets pick back then. A couple of things in minor league baseball history. 1953, Richard Lepardo, good old Rick, set a Florida State League record with 8 wild pitches in one game. 8 wild pitches in one game. And on this date, 2005, the Myrtle Beach Pelicans entered the Guinness Book of World Records as 1,827 fans simultaneously donned Groucho Marx glasses at the same time.
Ground ball back to the pitcher. It's off the arm of Solis. He cannot make the play, and Little advances to first. That is an error. Solis charged, but could not make the grab, and Little gave him credit for running hard, even though it was a ball back to the pitcher. That'll be an E1.
1,800 fans wearing Groucho Marx glasses.
That's a, I don't know, sort of a strange one. Here's Martins Molinari with Little on at first now. 1 out. 1-0 the Chukars lead in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch from Solis to the plate. That is high for ball 1. Breaking ball at 79 miles an hour. One and 0 to Martins Molinari. Grounded to second in the 2nd inning. Solis comes set. The pitch to the plate, there goes Little. The throw from Villa Escusa up the line a little bit. The tag is applied, but not in time. Sam Little swipes second base for his first stolen base of the season. So a runner on second now with 1 man out. The pitch was a strike. And the Chukars' 12th steal of the year. 1-0, they lead the Rocky Mountain Vibes. They've won the first 5. This is game 6 of a 6-game set. The pitch to Molinari, that's right down the middle for strike 2. One and 2 to Molinari. He's got to fight this off now. Game 1 in the Valley of the Sun. Nuggets and Phoenix, 4-point game right now. Just started. Keep an eye on that the rest of the night. We got time at home plate. Steven, our technical director, you like the Suns' chances? Thumbs up or thumbs down? 5 game set? All right, I'll hold you to that. Steven is from Phoenix. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Molinari on its way. This is fouled off.
Tonight's attendance, 1,661 on this final game of a 9-game homestand. Chukars averaging right around 2,000 per ball game.
John, how do you like the Jazz against the Clippers?
I'm scared.
Scared.
Yeah, the Clippers, if they get going, look out, but maybe it's the Jazz year.
1-2 pitch to Molinari, fought off again, and I must have misheard Steven. He thinks the Nuggets are going to take it in 5. He thinks Jokic is going to be too much. You beat the Lakers. All right. Well, I've got no dog in the fight. The Lakers are out and the Warriors aren't playing, so have at it for the rest of the teams. I prefer the other LA team to also get out.
So you're rooting for the Jazz then?
I will be rooting for the Jazz. Why not? The 1-2 pitch for the third time to Molinari. This is ripped into left field. That's a base hit. Left fielder Esparza picks it up, and Sam Little has to stop in front of third base as Gardy put up the stop sign. Sam Little got back quickly. We saw him run through a stop sign the other day, but he wisely holds up here. And it's first and third for Jordan Gar with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
Don't want to make an out at home if you don't have to. And runners now at the corners with 1 out. Last time the Chukars had runners at the corners, DeBonville into a 6-4-3 double play.
So a fly ball will get a run in. Jordan Gar with 6 RBI yesterday. He did have a sac fly. An RBI double, a 2-run double, and his first home run of the season, a 2-run shot. He squares to bunt. It's a squeeze, and it's foul. It was a safety squeeze that time, not a full suicide, as Sam didn't come crashing down from third base. They practiced that in batting practice, and Gar got the bat on it, but just hit it foul. A 1-1 with 1 out. I'd be interested to see here if Molinari takes second. Here comes the 0-1 to Gar, swing and a miss. Pulled off a good fastball at 89. He tried to pull an outside pitch, and now it's 0-2. Gar 0 for 1. He struck out in the second, and that's what Solis intends to do in this at-bat as well. Escusa set up inside. Here's a ground ball towards short. This could be 2. Perez to flip to the second baseman. Ceballos on to first. A beautiful double play for the Vibes, and Solis does get out of the inning. He gets another ground ball with first and third, and the Chukars are retired in the bottom of the 4th. 1 hit, an error, no runs, and a man left on base. We head to the top of the 5th. 1-0 Chukars on KSPZ 980. Top of the 5th, 1-0 the Chukars lead. Tyler Petersen and John Balginy from Melaleuca Field on a Monday night. Lovely night for baseball, not too cold, a little windy. Jake Binder will face Juan Barbosa, who just came into the game as a defensive substitution. Tyler Plantier and Eduardo Ceballos. Binder's been good all season. So far in this game, 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. So here's Barbosa. Came in for Nunez, who singled and got all the way to third but did not score. And the first pitch is a bit high for ball 1. Binder's set on the mound. Pitches to the plate, breaking ball a little bit outside to Ando. Again, anything that's a little bit off the plate on that left side, Rick Daly won't give. It's been that way for 2 games, and he's kept it right there. 2-0 pitch. Binder comes inside, and it's fouled into the glove of Bronson Butcher. It's 2-1. Next pitch is low. 2-2.
Quick check of some scores. Hawks lead Missoula 4-3 in the 5th. Grand Junction leads Ogden 8-7 in the 4th, and Great Falls leads Billings 7-2 in the 5th.
Next pitch is inside, ball 4. It's the second walk of the game for Jake Binder. It also happens to be the second walk of the season for Jake Binder. And that'll bring up Plantier with the leadoff man on for the first time in the ballgame for the Vibes. First pitch to Plantier is down low. 1-0, so 3 straight balls from Jake Binder. Plantier got his first hit as a Vibe in yesterday's ball game. Check on Barbosa at first, not in time. It is our Toyota 5th inning check-in, and we love to hear from everyone listening and watching this ball game. So if you are listening or watching, let us know on Twitter or Facebook, and we'll give you a shout out on the radio. And here's a pitch hit into right field. That'll be a base hit. It drops in front of Sam Little. A weak line drive, but Plantier will get his first hit of this ball game. And now the Vibes have 2 men on with no one out in this 1-run ball game. That'll bring up Eduardo Ceballos to the plate, the 9th place hitter. But again, if you're watching or listening to this game, we'd love to hear from you on Facebook or Twitter. I've got a question of the day for you. When you come to the ballpark, what's your go-to food? Because whenever I go to ballpark, I always got to get some peanuts and just start making a mess of my seat. I have to, always.
My go-to, you got to have a hot dog at a ball game. Have to.
First pitch to Ceballos. He squares the bunt, and he bunts it backwards. It's foul number 1. The de Bonvilles are watching. We're with you. See you in Grand Junction on Wednesday. Well, that's fantastic. Ray Ann de Bonville. I believe that's Thomas's mom, but I'm not sure. Definitely part of the family.
Your son is red hot. I will just say that.
Ceballos not scoring around right now. It's 0-1. He swings away and he fouls it off. So it's 0-2 now to Eduardo Ceballos. Could not get the bunt down to begin this at bat. Now swings away, fouls it off. It's 0-2. And if you're listening to this game in the stands right now, give us a little wave and let us know you're listening. I see 1, I see 2, I see 3, I see 4, I see 5, I see 6, I see 7. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate you following along on KSPZ 980. Next pitch, fouled back again. even though I work in radio and have worked in radio, I don't think I've ever gone to a ball game and listened to it. I don't think I've ever brought the old transistor radio out to the ball game or anything. I've got to try it one of these days when I get back to San Francisco, because the Giants broadcasters are a treat to listen to. 0-2 to Ceballos. That is down low, stopped by Butcher, 1-2.
I remember going to old Tiger Stadium and listening to Ernie Harwell, one of the all-time greats. Also, when you go to Wrigley, when I went to Wrigley, I had to listen to Harry. He was in the bag by about the 5th inning. Too many Budweisers.
Binders 1-2 to Ceballos. That is just a bit outside 2-2. John Miller told this great story when he was young. He would go up and sit high up. I forget exactly where John's from, but it was on the East Coast, and he would have a tape recorder, listen to the games, and call them and listen back to them. And right next to him would be the broadcast booth, and he said, after this 2-2 pitch, a ground ball towards Molinari. He charges. He'll go to second for one. There's Manji. No play at first. He checked third, though. It'll be a fielder's choice 3-4 that will get the out at second. It'll now be first and third. 3-6 on the play. It'll now be first and third with one out. But he said that the broadcaster who was sitting next to him took a big handful of popcorn, put it in his mouth. Next pitch was thrown, and he said that he didn't miss a beat. Clear as a whistle, called the next pitch. I'm still working on that. Here's Brandon Perez. So after Solis got a double play with first and third, let's see if Binder can do the same to the Vibes. One out, the pitch to the plate. Here's a line drive to center field. Over is DeBonville, still running. He'll make the catch. This will get the run in from home. Here comes the runner to the plate. It'll be cut off, and the game is tied 1-1 on a sacrifice fly from Brandon Perez. So the Chukars do get an out, but the Vibes tie the game.
Now batting, number 33, center fielder, Melaleuca.
And we appreciate all the runs that the Chukars have scored in this last series, but this looks a little bit more familiar like a baseball game. 1-1 here in the top of the 5th. Here's Manny Ayoke, dangerous hitter, runner on first with 2 outs, and the first pitch is a slider on the outside corner for strike 1. Runner on first, that's Ceballos. Ayoke at the plate. Here comes Binder's 0-1. It's on its way. It's a ground ball down third base line, but that'll be foul. A quick 0-2 on Ceballos. Two outs now. Pitch to Ceballos, or to Ayoke, is fouled off. The Twitter account Return O the Mac says beer. That's his go-to food at a ballpark.
Has some vegetables in there somewhere.
Potatoes or wheat or barley, depending on what exactly kind of adult beverage you are going to consume. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Ayoke swings through an 87-mile-an-hour fastball. It'll be Binder's 5th of the game, but the Vibes do tie up the score 1-1 on the sacrifice fly. We will head to the bottom of the 5th. We're all tied up at 1 on KSPZ 980. Bottom of the 5th, live from Bonneville County in Idaho Falls, in Melaleuca Field, in the Jim Gar Show radio booth. Tyler Petersen and John Balginy with you. Chuck Steele, Alexis Mongi, and Webb Little, the first 3 hitters to face Aaron Solis. Only 3 hits for the Chukars and only 1 run. They've averaged 18 runs a game in this series. It's our Toyota 5th inning check-in, and we want to know a couple things. How are you listening to this game? Who are you? Where are you? And our question of the day, I want to know. It's been a long 9-game homestand. I've had a lot of different food from the concessions. What's your go-to food at the baseball game? There's a lot of good food here. I'm having one of these great Bambino, what did I get, John? Pork. I got the pork. It's pretty good. First pitch to Chuck Steele is low, and that is ball 1 to Chuck Steele. Janelle says chicken strips and fries with a Pepsi. Sounds good. Annie Butcher just likes a good old-fashioned hot dog. So do I. 1-0 to Chuck Steele. That is a called strike 1 at the knees. Steele flied out in his first at bat in the 3rd. Bottom of the 5th. No one out, no one on. Steele, the leadoff hitter in a 1-1 ball game. Pitch from Solis. That's just a bit low, 2-1. Alondra Avendano says pulled pork nachos. Yum, that does sound good. Steele back into the box. A 2-1 count. Here's the pitch from Solis, and this is swung on and missed. Nice pitch that time on the inside. Tied up Steele a little bit. It's now 2-2. Fans checking in with us on Facebook. Michael Bueller says a double cheeseburger with fries and then a raspberry Bambino with ice cream for dessert. Ooh, going all out. Here's the 2-2 from Solis to Steele, and this is a line drive to center field, a base hit. Chuck has his first hit of the ball game, and it's a nice start for Idaho Falls here in the bottom of the 5th. Their leadoff man is on with the top of the order coming up to the bat. Here's Alexis Mongi. No official at-bats in this ball game, but 2 walks. Jim Dortch is watching from home. Can't wait to get back to the diamond to watch it live, but enjoying it on YouTube. Our favorite go-to at the ball diamond are peanuts. Like I said, I always got to have that shell there, crack it open. First pitch to Mongi is outside. And of course, I always bring my gloves to the yard when I'm sitting out there, and usually have the bag of peanuts in my left hand. Grab one out of there, crack it under my leg against my seat, and eat it like that. One and 0 to Alexis Mongi with Chuck Steele on at first. Nobody out. They're going to check on Chuck, and Chuck gets back. Cherie Lovell, watching from Texas, got to have sunflower seeds, she says. Sharon Jenkins, a hot dog for me, but her son loves the garlic fries at AT&T Park, and they are very good, Sharon. But there's one thing I love better at AT&T Park. Here's the 1-0 to Mongi. He swings and misses. There goes Steele. The throw down to second. The tag is not in time. Steele steals his 4th base of the season. So a runner in scoring position now for the Chukars. Sharon, the only thing I like better than the garlic fries, and listen, Nate's right, those garlic fries are good, but the Crazy Crab sandwich, that's my favorite, with the garlic bread, the buttered garlic bread, and then the crab. Ooh, that's tough to beat. I gotta have it once a year. It's expensive, but when I go to the yard, I have to have it. Pitch to Mongi. That catches the corner, and now Mongi is behind in the count, 1-2. That pitch has been all there tonight and the previous game for Rick Daly. That is a strike. He's got a good zone, this umpire. Here's the 1-2 to Alexis. He fights that one off down the right field line, just a bit foul. Of course, when I go to AT&T Park as well, I like to have the Ghirardelli Sundae. That's also a big hit. Ray and Quinn Morris are listening from Scurry, Texas, with a little number 12, and of course that number 12 is Mason Alexander, who's in the bullpen tonight. We saw Mason with one clean scoreless inning to end the ball game the other night, finished off one of these blowout games. This is not a blowout game. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Chuck Steele on its second, nobody out, and the pitch to Manji is high and inside. It's now 2-2. Webb Little on deck, a left-handed hitter, followed by Andrew Don, who's 2 for 2 with the lone RBI for Idaho Falls. Solis needs an out, and Manji at least needs to get Steele over to third. The 2-2 pitch, a little bit high. Good take there from Manji. His hands started to move, but his wrists were able to hold that bat back. It's now 3-2. Manji, a pesky hitter. Got a slight choke on 3-2. Solis comes set, looks at second, and now comes to the plate, and this is popped up on the infield. Back is the second baseman, Ceballos. In comes the right fielder. It'll be Barbosa, the right fielder, who makes the catch. And there's one out in the inning. So a good out for Solis to get. Not such a great out for Manji. He's now 0 for 1. Here's Webb Little. Webb Little is 0 for 2, and we haven't said that too many times this year. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first, flied out to left in the third. Pete Matonis, Section C, row 5. He's here at the ball game. Joy Binder says, hoping Jake can hang in there for the next few innings. Go Chukars. I think Jake is going to be pitching well into this night. Timeout at home plate. Pete Wagner watching from Weatherford, Texas. We appreciate you watching on our YouTube simulcast. The audio coming from KSPZ 980, the Sports Zone, a Sand Hill media station in Idaho Falls. Pitch to the plate. Fastball outside from Solis, 1-0. The Gars are watching. They love a hot dog at the ballpark, but can't wait to come check out what's offered at Melaleuca Field. And boy, we'll have a treat for you, Jan. We've got a ton of great stuff. Paul and Misha and the rest of our concessions crew cook up a lot of good stuff. As Solis checks on Steele at second. 1-0 to Webb Little. 1-1 our score. One out, runner on second in the bottom of the 5th. So far, the lowest scoring game of all home games we've had. Pitch to the plate, Webb takes inside 2-0. Jan, I'm sure the Gar family has been to a few Stockton Ports games or maybe San Jose Giants games. If you're baseball fans, they're some of the closest teams formerly of the California League, now what's known as Low A West, and why they changed the name, I'll never know. 2-0 pitch to Webb Little, that's high, 3-0. And I'm sure that won't be the last time this year that I'll call one of the little brothers the other one. Webb and Sam both in the lineup today. Both are really hot. Both back in the lineup after some time off from injuries. 3-0. I bet you Webb has a green light. The pitch is inside, ball 4. The first walk of this inning. And the 4th for Solis in this ball game. So Chuck Steele still at second. But now Webb Little on at first, and out comes the pitching coach, Mike Garcia. He'll talk to Solis, who has been very good tonight. This is by far the best performance we've seen from a Rocky Mountain pitcher in this series. 1-1 our score. This is our Toyota social check-in inning. Let us know on Twitter or Facebook if you're listening, watching tonight's ball game. A shout out to the 87 people watching this YouTube live stream right now. We appreciate it. Dylan Pearson says nacho cheese and a Mountain Dew for him at the stadium. I hope that's not nacho cheese in Mountain Dew. I hope that's nachos and a Mountain Dew. Unless you've got a new concoction there, Dylan, that I don't know about and I need to try. Let me know if I need to try that. Probably more viscous fluid than I'd like to be drinking. I can probably see the sort of the consistency of a milkshake if I put cheese into a Mountain Dew. What do you think about that, Steven? Something? Appreciate you checking in, Dylan. The meeting is over now on the mound. Mike Garcia departs. Let's reset our diamond here. It's first and second, 1 out in a 1-1 ball game. Chuck Steele singled to lead off this inning. He stole second. Webb Little walked. He's on first. 1 out for Andrew Dawn. He's got a triple and a double, or excuse me, a triple and a single, and an RBI, and he wants time. Dawn batting third tonight. He's the designated hitter. For the third game in the row. First pitch to Dawn on its way. That is just off the plate. 1-0. Umpire Rick Daly is given the right side of the plate on a lot of those sweeping breaking balls, but that one swept a little too far off the plate. One 1-0 pitch to Dawn. That's just a bit low as well, 2-0. Dawn ahead in the count, 2-0. Probably be a good time to let out some shaft and get the barrel head out there. 2-0 pitch, a big swing and a miss. He did try to let out some shaft, and he swings and misses over a pitch in the dirt. That's great confidence from Solis to throw a breaking ball on 2-0. Betting on the aggressiveness of Dawn, because that pitch was not going to be a strike. Solis set on the mound. Via Escusa setting up inside. Steele dancing off a second, and now we have time again at home plate. 1-1 our score. In the bottom of the fifth, 1 out, 2 men on. Chukars with a chance to retake the lead. Solis looking for a shutdown inning. The pitch to Dawn, that's a pitch that's just a bit low. 3-1 to Dawn. Dawn being incredibly patient at the plate in this at-bat. He walks a ton. His on-base percentage is astronomical. He's batting over 500. Third best in the Pioneer League at 509 coming into today. And he's got 2 more hits. 3-1 to Dawn, that's fought off. Ooh, he took a big hack there, but he missed it. And he fouls that one into the parking lot. 3-2 now. Chukars have won the first 5 of 6 in the 6-game series. Looking for the 6-game sweep, but Rocky Mountain putting up a big fight today. Payoff pitch to Dawn. There go the runners. This is grounded foul. Might have swung at ball 4 there. Breaking the ball that was coming in on the inside corner. I think both runners would have had the bases stolen. But Dawn keeps the at-bat alive. Now this will be a 7-pitch at bat. Solis has already induced 2 double plays to end 2 innings in this game. Can he get a third? The pitch to Dawn, there go the runners again, it's ball 4. And the bases will be loaded with 1 man out for Bronson Butcher. Steele at third, Little at second, Dawn at first. And the cleanup hitter, Bronson Butcher, who has been on a tear recently, standing at bat for the Chukars. 1-1 our score. Butcher is going to look to give this a long drive if he can. 5 home runs for him on the season. That's tied for the league lead. First pitch to Butch on its way. That's outside. Ball 1. Runners take their lead. Solis waiting for the pitch he wants. Now he gets it. He comes set. Pitch to the plate. That is a slow breaking ball that's in there for strike 1. So I don't know if Bronson was guessing fastball or he was just waiting for Solis to prove he can throw a strike in this at bat, but he took a pretty good pitch there. One pitch to Bronson with 1 out. This is swung on, fouled back, and that'll go over the press box. 1-2. So Solis fighting back now, ahead in the count, 1-2. Can he get out of another jam? He comes set on the mound, bases loaded. The 1-2 pitch to Bronson Butcher on its way. It's swung on back to Solis. He goes to second for 1. On to first. A double play. Expertly turned by the Vibes. They get out of a jam again. The 3rd inning-ending double play in this ball game, and it stays 1-1 as we head to the top of the 6th. Good drama in this one on KSPZ 980. Top of the 6th, 1-1 our score. Binder back out there, and what another nice job by Aron Solis to get out of an inning, his 3rd inning-ending double play. A couple more people checked in with us, but I didn't want to get to them because of the action on the field, but we'll get you in now. Andrew Don says, are there any concessions at Melaleuca Field named for Chris Hall's Twitter skills? Chris Hall roasted chicken, etc.? No, but we'll have to think about that and see what Big Kevin Green says about changing some of these names. Dylan Petersen says no, 2 separate things. Non-nitro cheese mixed with Mountain Dew. I know. Here's Salazar. Salazar, Barfield, and Villa Escusa to face Binder. As we get in just the last few of our check-ins that we had today. Great response from everyone, and I really appreciate it. Next pitch to the plate is down low to begin the inning. 1-0 to Salazar, 0 for 2. Flied out twice. Hit 2 home runs yesterday. There's a line drive past the dive of Gar at second. It's a base hit into center field. The second time the Vibes have the leadoff hitter on. The first time they had the leadoff hitter on, that leadoff hitter came in to score. 1-1 our ball game. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Barfield. Kevin Harris says, thank you, Chukars, for making these boys Knight Rigby U8 undefeated baseball team. Thanks for coming out. JW Toy on Facebook says, shout out to former Sonoma Stompers Bronson Butcher and Danny Molinari. Watching from Fairfield, California. Go to the Nut Tree Plaza for me, JW, and eat at Amici's for me. Go to Scandia, too, while you're at it. First pitch to Barfield. He squares to bunt, puts down a good one. Webb charges. He fields it, throws on to first. He gets Barfield. So I'm not sure if that was going to be a straight sacrifice or not, but the play goes 5-3, and we will give Barfield the bunt, the sacrifice bunt. It gets Salazar over to second. We know that. So here's Villa Escusa. One out, man on second, 1-1 ball game. First pitch to the left-handed hitter is a called strike. Nice slider by Jake that time. And by the way, JW says chicken strips and garlic fries, and that does sound good. 0-1 to Villa Escusa. Pitches low. Kim Matthews likes her kettle corn. We like our kettle corn too, our high country kettle corn that we've had brought to us a few times. Binder looks back. The runner now pitches to the plate. That's outside, 2-1. 1-1 our score in the top of the sixth. Runner at second, one out. Two-one pitch, that's fouled away, 2-2. Bob Farrow in section C, row 2, seats 13 and 14. He says the FM delay is a killer. We'll switch to AM then, Bob. That'll be right on the money. And he says brats rule. I like myself a good bockwurst from time to time. Haven't seen many bockwurst at the ball games, but big fan. 2-2 to Villa Escusa, one out. In the top of the sixth, Salazar on its second. Binder to the plate, and this is hit into left field. Steele's going to take this one on a hop. They're going to hold up Salazar, and now Steele misplays it. He throws it into second. The runner, Salazar, will score on the error by the left fielder, Steele. A base hit, E7, and no RBI for Villa Escusa. And it's 2-1 Vibes. And I believe this is the latest they've ever had the lead in a ball game against the Chukars in this 6-game series. Well, that was a really nice job by the Vibes to manufacture a run there. They bunted a man over, they put another ball in play, made the defense work, and got rewarded for it by the error from Chuck Steele. The first pitch to Esparza swung on and missed. Never know what might happen if you put balls in play. Like in hockey, just put a puck on the net. You never know what might happen, deflection otherwise. Put a ball in play, make the defense work for it. 0-1, now Vibes lead 2-1. This pitch is fouled at the plate. It's 0-2. Well, the Vibes do not want to get swept in a 6-game series. They are going to do everything to avoid that and break their 7-game losing streak. One out, top of the sixth, 2-1 the Vibes lead. Binder steps off. It's 0-2 to Esparza. 0-2 pitch is fought off and fouled off. Still 0-2. We want to thank everyone who checked in with us tonight. We'll put a wrap on our segment. But I got to get this one in because Don's giving me a shout out. Andrew says, perhaps a Tyler Petersen churro. I do like a churro. My favorite are the BART Path churros. If you've ever been to an Oakland A's game and had to walk back to the BART train. This pitch is swung on and missed. Esparza K's. Binder with his 6th strikeout of the night. And for Binder, that is now his season high for a game. So 2 outs now in the inning for Juan Barbosa. But if you've ever been to an A's game, you know, and you take Bart, you get back on the train, you got to walk over this big bridge back to the station, and there's always a ton of people there selling churros. And they are fantastic. First pitch to Barbosa, that is low for ball 1. Two on our score, top of the 6th. Here's the 1-0 pitch, that is high, 2-0. Villa Escusa on at first. Barbosa at the plate, 2 outs. For the Chukars in the bottom of the 6th, it'll be DeBonville, Sam Little, and Martins Molinari, the first 3 hitters. Next pitch is high. It is now 3-0 to Barbosa. A right-hander loosening in the Chukars bullpen. Would love to see Binder get through this inning. Maybe his team can score him some runs on the other side and put him in line for a win, but geez, he's only given up 2 runs. Pitch to the plate. That's a strike. And now Binder's back into this at bat. Pitch to the plate on 3-1. That's outside. That will be ball 4. You might get a visit from Bob Malaki. No, it's going to be Billy Gardner. So here comes Skip. Is he making the call? He is making the call. Binder's night is over. This pitching change is brought to you by the Smith Group, simplifying the car buying experience for 100 years. We'll be back, and we'll tell you about the new pitcher on KSPZ The Sports Zone, your home for Fox Sports, and the Idaho Falls Chukars. The new pitcher for the Chukars, wake up, Scurry, Texas. It's Mason Alexander who comes in for relief of Chukars starter Jake Binder.
Jake goes 5 2/3. He gives up 5 hits, 2 runs thus far, and only one of those earned. He walked 3, he struck out 6. And the new pitcher is Mason Alexander, and we have a pinch runner for Villa Escusa at second base. It is Sergio, no, it's not Sergio, it's Eder Rosales, the backup catcher.
So we'll see if that's a straight substitution. Here's a pitch that's hit to deep left field. Back is Chuck. He turns around, and it's off the wall. He picks the ball up, throws it in. The back runner's trying to score. The throw at the plate is in time. And they get Barbosa. So Alexander throws one pitch. It's a ringing double off the wall. Rosales scores, but Barbosa cannot. Some drama in this ball game. It's 3-1 vibes now. We head to the bottom of the 6th on KSPZ The Sports Zone. Welcome back to our ball game. It's 3-1 vibes in the bottom of the 6th. The first time the Chukars have been trailing the vibes this late into the ball game. DeBonville, Little, and Martins Molinari to face Aaron Solis, a same catcher. Villa Escusa comes back into the ball game, and that's significant, John, as you're supposed to carry 3 catchers on every team, but Barnes was ejected. Rosales ran for Villa Escusa and now is out of the game with that designated pinch runner rule. So Villa Escusa, the last catcher for the Vibes. First pitch to Bonneville, inside for ball 1. It's the Chukars who trail now. Pitch to Bonneville, that's fouled off. It's 1-1.
And close the book on Binder. 5 2/3 for Jake. Gave up 3 runs. All were earned. He can't win it, but he can lose it if the Chukars don't come back. Where are the bats tonight?
Pitch to Bonneville, that's grounded foul.
Maybe they used up all their hits in the first 5 games when they had 90. Actually 98 hits in the first 5 games, only 4 tonight.
That play to get Barbosa went 7-6-2 for the final out, and that's fouled at the plate.
Everybody clap your hands.
3-1 the score, 1-2 to DeBonville. Pitch is outside now to DeBonville.
Rocky Mountain Vibe doing some calisthenics, getting loose, not throwing yet, but boy, what a game Aaron Solis has pitched.
Pitch to DeBonville, that's grounded foul again.
Chukars were averaging 18 runs a game in the last 5 games, and Tonight, only one off Solis, the youngster from Houston.
Two and two to De Bonville. Solis from the windup. Here's the pitch, and this is hit up the middle. Over is Perez. He spears it, throws it on the backhand, tries to improvise, but not quite strong enough. Nice play. De Bonville reaches on an infield single, but give Brandon Perez a ton of credit for staying with that play.
Showed great range, and there's no way he was going to get the runner, but he tried and he didn't throw it away. So an infield single to lead things off here for the Chukars in the bottom of the 6th.
And here's Little. So the tying run comes to the plate in the form of right fielder Sam Little.
Missoula leads Boise 7-6.
You had to say that.
Raptors lead Grand Junction 11-9, and Great Falls leads Billings 9-5. Here the Chukars down by 2 late in the game.
First pitch to Little. He's 0 for 2, is inside. Little grounded to third in the second and then reached on an error in the 4th. Stole a base.
Sam was 4 for 6 last night. 2 nights ago, he had 2 triples in the game.
Chukars with just 1 run here in the bottom of the 6th. They're down 3-1 to the Vibes. Binder was very good tonight, but he is on the opposite end of a 3-1 score. Pitch to Sam is high. 2-0. Chukars need base runners. Daniel Martinez-Molinari on deck.
Chukars have had base runners, 5 hits, 5 walks, but 3 double plays turned by the Vibes infield has been the key in this game, the big difference in the game.
Tension in the air, which has been missing in this series. 2-0 pitch. That's a strike. 2-1 now to Sam Little. No one warming in the Chukars bullpen, so we'll see Mason Alexander come out for the 7th inning. He only threw 1 pitch. He got an out, but a run scored on it as well. Check on the runner at first, not in time. Steve Thayer, our photographer, texted me and he said he captured the picture of the year, and I'm guessing it's on that slide at home. Two-one to Sam. It swung on a miss, took a big cut and missed it. It's now 2-2. Chukars trying to go for the 6-game sweep in their first ever 6-game series with Rocky Mountain. 2-2 pitch is swung on, fouled away into the stands. Rocky Mountain Vibes play in Colorado Springs, Colorado, at a formerly AAA stadium. For a long time, the Colorado Sky Sox play there. The Vibes franchise, though, moved from Helena, formerly the Helena Brewers. Check on De Bonville again. Not in time, but originally, you go back to before Helena, before Medicine Hat Blue Jays, this team was in the Northwest League as the Boise A's, founded in 1975. So some Idaho roots here. Another check on De Bonville, and he was leaning that time. He gets back in time. Solis readies the 2-2 to Sam Little. 3-1 the Vibes lead. No one out in the bottom of the 6th. De Bonville on it first. And the 2-2 to Sam is fouled off again. This will be a 7-pitch at bat, at least. Try it again. 2-2 to Little. He's the tying run. Solis is set. Check on to Bonneville again.
Pretty good shift on Little, the shortstop. Perez nearly behind the bag at second base.
We haven't seen many shifts this year. There's not a ton of advanced scouting you can do, but they are absolutely giving Sam Little the line right now down the third base line. Villascusa sets up inside, 2-2 pitch, foul back again. Good battle by Sam. Still looking for his first hit in this ball game. This will be an 8-pitch at bat now. A pitch count for Solis. Getting up there. According to our tracker, he's right at 100 pitches. Bonneville again dives back to first. Just playing catch with the first baseman Barfield at this point. Still no one out. Still 2-2 on Sam Little, and it's still 3-1 Rocky Mountain vibes. Again a check on DeBonneville. DeBonneville gets back in time again, and now this crowd is really letting Solis have it. I wonder if he's trying to sort of just put Sam Little to sleep at the plate. 2-2 pitch, fastball in the dirt. There goes DeBonneville, and Villascusa cannot get a grip. DeBonneville steals second. On what will likely be scored a wild pitch.
Looked like the pitch was in the dirt, and I don't think Thomas was off with the pitch, but he's in scoring position nevertheless.
And that's the important part. And it's now 3-2 to Sam Little.
Still nobody throwing in the Vibes bullpen.
And now Sam wants time. DeBonneville at second, no one out, 3-1 the Vibes lead. It'll be a 3-2 pitch to Sam Little. And the 9th pitch of this at-bat on its way. It swung on and missed. Sam Little is gone. Only the 2nd strikeout for Solis. And with 1 out, it's Daniel Martins Molinari. He's going to see whether he can drive in that run. Bats have gone cold so far. Only 5 hits for the Chukars, and here comes pitching coach Mike Garcia to have another talk with Solis. Wonder how much more Solis can go.
I'm sure that's what Garcia's asking him right now. No change in the Pioneer League scoreboard. Missoula leads by 1 over Boise. Ogden by 2 over Grand Junction. Great Falls has extended its lead to 10-5 over Billings. No games tomorrow. Travel day around the Pioneer League, and there will be games Wednesday through Monday.
Mike Garcia departs. The meeting is over. Martins Molinari is 1 for 2. Single back in the 4th.
Solis, 24 years old, so he's not a youngster. I'm sure he's been in several of these battles before out of Houston. The Bats are asleep tonight for the home team. They're slumbering. They need to wake up.
If it came down to it, I bet you Matt Feinstein could pinch hit late in this ball game, if needs be. First pitch to Martins Molinari, inside for ball 1. Well, if I'm Solis, I almost walk Molinari because of the way he's been able to get ground balls tonight. He could turn 2. 3 double plays and 3 innings in the first 5 innings that Solis has pitched. It's a great job of timely pitching. Here comes the 1-0 to Daniel Martins Molinari. It's on its way. It's high, and it backs Molinari off the plate. Has to skip out of the way of that one. It's now 2-0.
Little chin music from Solis.
Molinari back in the box, takes a few practice swings. Solis looking into Villa Escusa. He wants to start these signs over though. And now Molinari wants time. De Bonville on its second. He had an infield single to begin this inning. Got the second on the wild pitch. Sam Little struck out. 1 out of the inning, 3-1 the Vibes lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 pitch to Molinari. It's swung on ground towards short. De Bonville's going to try to go for third, and it's dropped by Perez. And now De Bonville slips, and he gets back to third base. Whoa! Error on the shortstop Perez. I think Perez was trying to go to third, and he might have just taken his eye off the ball to check where the runner De Bonville was going.
With a 2-run lead, get the out. Forget about the guy going to third. And I don't think he would have had him anyway, as the ball was sort of hitting the hole. But the Chukars get a break. They have runners at first and third for the 4th time, and we don't want to talk about what happened the last 3 times. We don't want to mention it.
De Bonville taking a big chance there. But he advances safely. And now here's Jordan Gar. Can he build on those 2 fantastic games he had the last 2 nights? First pitch to him, that's in the dirt. 1-0.
And still nobody in the Vibes bullpen.
Gar the victim of a 6-4-3 double play in the 4th. It's a hit and run in order here. Pitch to the plate, breaking ball stays inside, 2-0. Will Billy Gardner Jr. do anything to stay out of a 4th inning ending double play? Here comes the 2-0 to Gar. He swings and misses, ball above the hands. Solis must be running out of gas, I would assume so. He's up to 108 pitches or more. Two onto the plate, that is low for ball 3. Chuck Steele is on deck.
Jonathan Lopez warming up for the Vibes.
Pitch to Gar. This is popped straight up on the infield. Who wants it? It'll be the catcher Villa Escusa. Now it's Barfield who makes the catch as he tumbles over Villa Escusa. There's 2 outs in the inning. And probably the second worst thing that could have happened in the at-bat just happened. Gar pops out to the catcher. It was almost dangerous there. So Steele will have to pick up Gar as he stands in first and third with 2 outs. You never like to leave a runner at third base to end the inning. Steele 1 for 2. Singled in the 5th. First pitch from Solis on its way. It's high for ball 1. I'll go out on a limb and say that this will be Solis's last batter of this ball game.
And the good news, the Chukars have roughed up the Rocky Mountain bullpen big time. But give credit to Aaron Solis. He's pitched a beauty tonight for this team.
1-0 to Chuck Steele. This is hit. Towards center, Ayoke over, and he will make the catch on the line drive. Solis gets out of another jam, and still the Chukars trail 3-1 on KSPZ 980, the Sports Zone. The Vibes from Rocky Mountain lead 3-1 over the Chukars from Idaho Falls. It's the top of the 7th. It's Tyler Petersen, that's me, and John Balginy, that's him, live from the Jim Garshow radio booth at Melaleuca Field. We've got a good one tonight. It's 3-1 the Vibes over the Chukars. Mason Alexander out there to begin his second inning of work. He pitched 1/3 of an inning. He only had one pitch thrown. Plantier hit an RBI double, but Barbosa was thrown out at the plate. A relay from Steele to Manji to Butcher. It'll be Eduardo Ceballos, Brandon Perez, and Manny Ayoke, the first 3 hitters to face Mason Alexander in what is going to be his first real test of this young Idaho Falls season for him. He pitched a scoreless 9th inning the other night in a blowout. But now a little bit more pressure on Mason here. Let's see how he performs from the windup. First pitch to the plate. Ceballos shows bunt, pulls it back. The pitch is high, 1-0. Ceballos, 0 for 2. The 9th place hitter. Next pitch, low as well, 2-0. Our score. Next pitch, that's a strike on the outside. Mason told me that he throws a 2-seam fastball, changeup, slider, and curveball. 2-1 pitch, that's the curveball, and it's a good one. 2-2. So from 2-0 back to 2-2. And now Mason looking for a put-away pitch. Not before he steps off the mound. Now he's looking for a put-away pitch. He begins his motion, he throws to the plate, and that is just a bit inside. Three and 2. It was a breaking ball, it must have broke a little too much. 3-2 pitch is inside for ball 4. And that was more off the plate than the previous pitch. Ball 4 for Ceballos. His first walk of the game, and here's the top of the order. It's Brandon Perez. We're going to have someone from that Chukars bullpen start to warm up a little bit. That looks like Nate Jenkins grabbing a ball. Ceballos, leadoff man on at first. The throw over bounces towards Molinari. I don't think Mason took a full stride when he threw that. I don't think he was really trying to pick him off either. Just want to let Ceballos know he was thinking about him. Here's the pitch to the plate. Pitch is high as Perez showed bunt. 1-0. 3-1 the Vibes lead. They're looking to extend this lead on a Chukars team that has averaged 18 runs against them in the first 5 games. Just 1 in game 6. Pitch to the plate. That is a strike on the outside. And yeah, you heard me correctly. 18 runs on average through the first 5 games. Not total. Per night on average. 1-1 pitch. There goes Ceballos. They show bunt. They throw down to second. No one's covering. At the very end of the play, Gar went to cover second base, but a total mix-up between that infield. That's going to be a stolen base for Ceballos. With a right-handed hitter, usually that's the second baseman's ball to take. Gar got there in time to field the throw, but didn't get over to the base quickly enough for any play to be on. Runner on second, a 1-2 pitch. On its way, line drive, and Monchi, he spears it! Throws on to first, and low, and it gets away from Martins Molinari. That'll be an error on Monchi, who stopped the ball fantastically and then just bounced it over to first base.
Number 33, center fielder, Manny Oyoke.
So here's Oyoke. Now 2 men on. First and third, no one out, and the Vibes have an opportunity to put some insurance runs on the board. Who would have thought? Like we were saying before the game, you never write off a professional team in any situation. First pitch to Oyoke, swing through on a slider. Strike 1. Oyoke is 1 for 2. He walked and singled and struck out. Pitch to the plate, slider for a called strike 2. Nice back-to-back breaking balls there from Alexander.
Chukars had gone 2 games without an error, but tonight 4 on the board.
Here's the next pitch. That's way too outside. 1-2. 2 runs for the Vibes in the top of the 6th, and now the Vibes are trying to score in the top of the 7th. 3-1 they lead. 1-2 pitch to Oyoke, and that's a line drive right at Gar. The first baseman was off the base, and now they've doubled up Perez, who I don't know if he was off on the pitch, but it certainly looked like he was off on contact. A huge double play and a huge base running mistake for Rocky Mountain. L4-3.
Third baseman, Edgar Salazar.
Here's Salazar. Runner on third with 2 outs. First pitch, breaking ball for a called strike 1. Weekly hit down the third base line, that'll kick foul. 0-2 now on Salazar. Two outs now. Chukars trail by 2. Alexander trying to get out of a first and third and no out situation You got a huge double play on a line drive that caught Perez off of first. He's got Salazar in an 0-2 count. What does he go to here? Setting upside is Butcher, breaking ball that stays high. 1-2. 3 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors for the Vibes, 1 run, 5 hits, and 4 errors for the Chukars. Well, the top of the order in the next inning, this is a weakly hit ball down the third base line. Again, it's cued just foul. When they go to bat in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Monji, Webb Little, and Andrew Dawn. Salazar in no hurry to get back to the plate. We've seen Alexander go slow. Maybe put something fast above the hands here. Pitch him backwards, we'll see what he goes with. Gets a sign from Bronson. Bronson sets up inside. The pitch is hit into right center field. Back is Devonville, he's after it. He's going to make a running catch to end the inning. No runs for the Vibes despite first and third and no outs. We head to the bottom of the 7th. It's still Rocky Mountain 3, Idaho Falls 1 on KSPZ 980. (3-1). We're stretching here at Melaleuca Field in the bottom of the 7th. The Chukars trail the Vibes. Tyler Petersen and John Balginy and Jonathan Lopez, the new pitcher.
Replaces the starter Aaron Solis, and what a great job the young man from Houston. 6 innings, 5 hits, only 1 run. That was in the first. He did walk 5. He struck out 2, tossed a couple of wild pitches, but 3 double play balls by Solis' infield, and that's why he has a 3-1 lead, and hopefully the Chukars can wake up against the bullpen.
Well, the bats, who have been unbelievable, and when I say that, it's an overused word sometimes in sports broadcasts, but unbelievable, averaging 18 runs per game in the first 5 games. Now they've only got 1. First pitch to Monji is inside for ball 1.
For Lopez, his 8th game of the season already. He's worked 7 1/3, given up 4 runs. He's struck out 9 and walked 5.
Next pitch to Monji, fouled back. You know, John, that doesn't surprise me. We've seen a lot of pitchers come into multiple ball games in this series. And I understand a 6-game series, you'll see some of the same pitchers, but I think Juan Valle has pitched 4 of the 6 ball games. Pitch to Monji is high, 2-1. Hey, that Phoenix-Denver game, the Suns up by 6 points late in the 3rd. The Nets beat up on the Bucks earlier today. This is a breaking ball that curves in nicely to Monji. It's now 2-2. Alexis does not have a hit. He's only had 1 at bat, 3 plate appearances, 2 walks. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Well, not a whole lot of luck against Aaron Solis. Maybe some luck against this bullpen. It'll take a late inning comeback, that's for sure. Bottom of the 7th, they're down 3-1. Pitch to Manji, line drive toward the second baseman. It's off his chest. Ceballos picks it up, throws to first, in time to get Alexis. And I do believe he got him by about a quarter step that time. 4-3. One out in the inning. Here's Webb Little. Can Webb get something started for the Chucks? Webb's got gap-to-gap power. Left-handed hitter against Lopez, a right-handed pitcher. The first pitch, half swing. Did he go? No, says the third base umpire. It's ball 1. Webb taking an unfamiliar 0 for 2 into the 7th inning.
98 hits for 5 games, 5 here in game number 6.
Next pitch is high and outside. Of course, the Chuckers scored season highs in runs and hits and RBI, tied a season high in walks in yesterday's ball game. Here, not so much. 2-0 to Little. Pitch to the plate, half swing. Did he go this time? It's a called strike 1.
Everybody clap your hands.
1 out in the bottom of the 7th, 3-1 the Vibes lead. The bases are empty for the Chucks. Pitch to Little, swung on and missed. Swung over a breaking ball. It's now 2-2. The Chuckers have won the first 5 of this 6-game series. Vibes right now looking to avoid the 6-game sweep. Pitch to Little is fouled back. Solis for 6 innings, and now Lopez in his first inning of work. Do you have any good news on our Pioneer League scoreboard, John?
Yes, Boise has taken an 8-7 lead over Missoula.
Pitch to Webb. This is popped up. Over is the shortstop, Perez. A long run for him. He will make an over-the-shoulder catch. So Boise in a back-and-forth ball game with Missoula. They have the lead again.
But it won't do any good if the Chuckers can't win this one.
Can you imagine if Boise loses 5 in a row to Missoula, the Chucks win 5 in a row, and then the one game that Missoula loses, we also lose? That would be something. 2 outs now for Andrew Don. The power missing from the bats today for the Chuckers. First pitch swung on, fouled at the plate, and that got a piece of Villa Escusa. And that is significant. Here comes the trainer, because 2 catchers are already out of this ball game for the Vibes. Barnes was ejected in the first inning. The catcher Rosales ran for Villa Escusa, and now he's out of the ball game with the designated pinch runner rule. So if Villa Escusa picks up an injury or something here, I mean, that shook him up a little bit. The Vibes will be without a catcher. It's 0-1 to Dawn. 3-1, the Vibes lead the Chuckers. Pitch to the plate toward the first baseman. He picks it up. Barfield goes over to first. And a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th. We head to the 8th. Still, the Chuckers 1, the Vibes 3 on KSPZ 980. Welcome back to our ball game. A new pitcher for the Chukars. It's Nate Jenkins out of the bullpen. To tell you about him and the man he replaced and to take you the rest of the way, it's John Balginy.
Thank you, Tyler. Nate Jenkins replaces Mason Alexander. He goes 1 1/3, gives up a hit. No runs. He walked a batter and makes way for Nate Jenkins. 6'3", 240, out of California. He's 23 years old. Jenkins' numbers, this will be his 6th game out of the Chukar bullpen. He's worked in 8 1/3, has given up 13 hits. He has struck out 6, walked 3, opposing batters hitting .361. And Nate with an earned run average of 6.48. He'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Vibes. Chukars down 3-1 in the top of the 8th. Jenkins' job, keep the Vibes off the board, and hopefully the Chukars bats can come alive in the last 2 frames. Credit to Aaron Solis. Pitched 6 innings, gave up just 5 hits and 1 run, and that run he gave up was in the 1st inning. Here's Jacob Barfield. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out, grounded out, and he laid down a sac bunt his last time up. So Jenkins, a right-hander against the right-hander Barfield. 3-1, 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for Rocky Mountain. 1 run, 5 hits, 4 errors for Idaho Falls. And the first pitch to Barfield is fouled right into the Rocky Mountain dugout. Count is 0-1. On deck is Antonio Villascusa. And then Joshua Esparza. Jenkins set at the belt. The kick in the 0-1. Breaking ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jenkins looks into his catcher. That's Bronson Butcher tonight. And here's the 1-1 pitch to Barfield. Inside, misses, ball 2. Rocky Mountain leads. We're going to Grand Junction on Wednesday. 2-1 pitch, also inside. It's 3-1. Wind slightly blowing in from center field. 1,661 showed up tonight, hoping for a sweep. We should have given the fans who brought a broom something special tonight, if they brought a broom to the game. And this ball is hit into the gap. That's going to drop for extra bases, as Barfield's going to lead off the 8th with a stand-up double. That's his 6th double of the season. And that ball was hit hard off Jenkins. Here's Villascusa.
John, did you hear the sound on that ball? That was the hardest hit ball of the night.
And it's a leadoff double for Barfield, his first hit of the game. Hit number 7 for the Vibes. They've out-hit the Chukars 7-5. Well, here's Villascusa, came in for Griffin Barnes, who was ejected in the bottom of the 1st. Villascusa 1 for 3. He's a switch hitting catcher. Jenkins set, checks the runner Barfield second. Here's the pitch to Villascusa. That's a ground ball. Garra's going to field on the right side. He'll make the throw. Villascusa does his job. He moves the runner over to third base with less than 2 out. And here's Esparza, who has struck out 3 straight times.
It was a nice job by Garra not to panic on that ball. It was so slowly hit that you thought maybe he'd have to charge it really quickly. But he knew Villascusa was not running great, so he took his time on that play.
Here's Esparza, homered last night. Chucker infield and on the grass. Can ill afford to give up another run this late in the game, which means a lot of holes to shoot for. Swing and a miss on a breaking curveball.
Well, Alexander did his little Houdini act. Can Jenkins get out of a jam now?
Barfield with that leadoff double. Moved over to third on the ground out by Villa Escusa. Esparza down in the count 0-1. The pitch from Jenkins. That's going to be a number. Oh, and Jordan Garr showed some hops. He jumped as high as he could. It went off the tip of his glove, and he held on to it for a huge second out. Wow, I thought that was going to be over his head.
I didn't think he was going to get there, but I mean, extension right at the top of his apex of his jump, making the catch in the webbing.
So Jordan Garr showing some hops, makes the catch, and it's 2 outs. And here's Juan Barbosa, who has walked twice since coming into the game. Huge play by Jordan Garr. Now let's see if Jenkins can finish the job. High pop-up, that'll reach foul territory left side. And it's 0-1. For the Chucks in the 8th, Butcher, DeBonville, and Little. Facing Lopez, who retired the Chucks 3 up, 3 down in the 7th inning.
And if the Chuckers are thinking about pinch hitters, there's Matt Feinstein, who's not quite 100%. There's Brady West. And there's also Steve Barmakian, the newest Chucker, a left-handed hitter out of George Washington University.
0-1 Jenkins to Barbosa. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. And Jenkins 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. A leadoff double. Barfield over to the third, but 2 outs. Barfield dances down the third baseline. 0-2 delivery on the way from Jenkins. It's going to be a ground ball. Monge's going to have to hurry. He fields, he throws, in time! Alexis Monge with a great play. He charged, he fielded and threw the strike, getting the runner by 1 step. So a leadoff double wasted. Let's see if that'll get the Chuckers bats going. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Rocky Mountain 3 and Idaho Falls 1. Bottom of 8 at the loop. Butcher, DeBonville, Little. Chuckers down 3-1. Jonathan Lopez on for his 2nd inning of work out of the bullpen. And Butcher, first pitch swinging, base hit to right field. So Butch goes the opposite way and starts off the 8th with a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Thomas DeBonville, who's 1 for 3. The Chuckers will not pinch run for Butcher. Thomas got an infield single his last time up. He's 1 for 3. That was hit number 6 for the Chukars, the Butcher single. First pitch to Thomas. Strike at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Most of the fans sticking around hoping for some Melaleuca magic. A come-from-behind win. Next pitch fouled out of play, and quickly Thomas down in the count 0-2. He'll be followed by Sam Little and Martins Molinari here in the 8th inning. Once again, the Chukar bullpen doing its job tonight. 0-2 to the Bonneville. Fastball inside, tried to brush him back, and it's 1-2.
We got ice. We need base runners. Here we go, Tom.
Butcher at first base being held on by Barfield. I guarantee Bronson's going nowhere. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. To Bonneville with a big hack and came up empty for a huge strikeout for Lopez. That's the first out of the 8th inning. And it brings up Sam Little. Sam's 0 for 3 in tonight's game.
You're just waiting for one of these hitters to run into one. De Bonneville with an extremely violent swing. If he had made contact, that probably would have been in Rexburg, that ball.
Little struck out swinging his last time up, takes the Lopez fastball for a ball outside. Sam, the tying run at the plate, hit a home run a couple of nights ago. 1-0 pitch, takes it outside for a ball. It's 2-0. The appeal to the umpire behind the pitcher's mound, that's Blair Peepo. He said he did not go around, so it's 2-0. Little ahead in the count, looking for something good to hit, but Butcher at first base with 1 away. The kick and the pitch to Little, outside, ball 3. Martins Molinari on deck. No action in the Vibes bullpen. No action in the Chukars bullpen. But the bullpen, they're all standing up for Idaho Falls. 3-0. The pitch to Little. Called strike. Outside corner, 3-1 the count. Chukars are left 8 men on base in the game. 3-1 on the way. This ball is long. It's going to be a foul ball. Just hooked foul at the last minute. Didn't get out of the park, but it would have been a wall banger, but instead it's a long strike, and it's 3-2.
The Chukars have only struck out 3 times tonight, John. It's not like they haven't been putting balls in play. It's just when they have been putting balls in play, the defense for the Vibes has been turning double plays left and right.
So Little walks back to the plate, just a little bit in front of that one. So we'll do the 3-2 pitch. 1 out, 1 on. Chukars down by 2. And the 3-2 pitch, not even close, ball 4. So Lopez has walked 1. He has struck out 1. He has given up a hit here in the 8th. And it brings up the first baseman, Martins Molinari. Daniel tonight is 1 for 3. So 2 on and 1 out. Daniel in the series is 8 for 24, 333 against Rocky Mountain pitching. Butcher, the runner at second. At first base, it's Little. There's 1 out. Chukars trail 3-1.
Every time they've trailed late, John, they've always scored at least 1 and made these games close.
First pitch high to Daniel.
Twice they've batted in the 9th inning in a few games. They were behind. Scored 1 run against Billings, scored 1 run against Missoula. Can they keep it going? Can they keep those late inning comeback attempts alive?
Righty-righty matchup. The pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. 1-1 the count on Martins Molinari.
I don't think he was ready for that fastball either. I think he was sitting on something slow because I think that surprised him a little bit.
Out of Redwood City, California. Chukars with a runner in scoring position, 1 out. Lopez, 1-1 pitch. That will reach the parking lot, and it's 1-2. On deck, Jordan Garr hitless tonight. Chukars trying to win their 7th straight, but it's been tough tonight. Credit the Vibes for coming up and pitching well. Solis, now Lopez. Averaging 18 runs a game. They've scored just 1 tonight. 1-2. Again, foul ball into the parking lot. And Daniel asked the home plate umpire if that was a strike or not. One ball, 2 strikes. Nervous time here at the Luke.
Sort of a new feeling.
It is a new feeling. Normally we're playing out the string this time of night. 1-2 pitch. Foul again. This one will land in the stands. Well, actually it hit a railing in the stands and bounced into the parking lot, so Kevin Green loses another $5. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big battle. Molinari against Jonathan Lopez. Daniel Martins Molinari. Butcher at second, Little at first, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That's low, 2-2.
Excellent eye. Foul off 4 in a row. Sort of get happy with your hands. You want to keep them moving again, but that's a great job to lay off that pitch.
Daniel calls time now, steps back into the batter's box. Lopez ready to work, checks the runner. 2-2 pitch. Base hit up the middle, and Butcher stopped momentarily. And it's going to be bases loaded with 1 out. Bronson stopped between second and third. Don't know if he thought it was going to be caught or not, but instead it's the bases loaded, and we are going to have a pinch runner.
Well, he did freeze on a line drive. That's exactly what happened. That's the newest Chucker. That's Steve Barmakian, who is on at first. He is the go-ahead run now for what I would imagine would be a designated pinch runner, although we did see Barmakian take some grounders at first earlier today.
Here's Jordan Garr. Hitless tonight. 10 RBI in the previous 2 games. Base hit could tie the ball game up. Butcher at third, Little at second. And the newest Chucker, Barmakian at first. And a ground ball, set shortstop to 1. The relay is in time, and they do it again. The 4th double play turned by the Rocky Mountain infield, and Garr is hit into 2 6-4-3 double plays. The Vibes escape unscathed in that 8th inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the 9th. It's still Rocky Mountain 3 and Idaho Falls 1. Jenkins facing plan. (3-1), top of 9. And the first pitch is a high fly ball. Monge going out. In comes Chuck Steele. And Monge's going to call off the left fielder and make the catch. Normally that's the outfielder who's coming in, but Monge called it all the way. 1 up, 1 down. And here's Eduardo Ceballos, and out comes Billy Gardner Jr. And we will have a pitching change. I think he signaled. And he did. This pitching change brought to you by the Smith Group, simplifying the car buying experience for 100 years. We'll be back and tell you about the new pitcher on KSPZ The Sports Zone, your home for Fox Sports and the Idaho Falls Chukars. Left-hander Victor Rodriguez comes in to face Eduardo Ceballos, who is a switch hitter. 1 out. We're in the top of the 9th. Chukars down 3-1. Jenkins worked 1 1/3, gave up a hit. And the first pitch from Victor is a called strike 1. Rodriguez, 7th game out of the bullpen. He has 2 of the Chukars' 9 wins. ERA of 3.85 for Victor. And here's an attempted bunt. Missed the ball, did Ceballos, and it's quickly 0-2. Again in the bottom of the 9th, Steele, Monge, and Webb Little. And it'll be Jonathan Lopez for the vibes on the mound. Nobody warming up for Rocky Mountain. Rodriguez kicks, 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He strikes him out on 3 straight. And we'll go to the top of the order for Brandon Perez. Perez hitless in 3 official at-bats, did pick up a sac fly RBI back in inning number 5.
And with Lopez going back out to the 9th, that means he's going to try for a 9-out save.
Rodriguez has 2 of the Chukars' 9 wins. He blew a save the other night and picked up the win. This pitch is fouled out of play.
We got a big at bat from Bronson Butcher in that game, a 2-run home run.
If he can hold off Rocky Mountain and his teammates can come back with 3 in the 9th, well, he'll be 3-0 on the season. But first things first, let's get this guy. Pitch from Rodriguez down low. It's 1-1. On deck is Manny Ayoke. Left-handed pitcher against the right-handed hitter Perez. 1-1 delivery. Inside, ball 2. Chukars have the bases loaded in the 8th with 1 out, and Gar hit into a double play for the second time tonight. 2-1, ground ball, and it gets past Gar into center field for a base hit.
It just skipped over his glove there. It would have been a tough play anyway going up the middle, and just could not get it on the high backhand.
So a 2-out single brings up Ayoke. Manny tonight is 1 for 3. He is 7 for 20 in the series, 350 with a double and a couple of home runs. Again, Manny played here in 2016 the entire year and started the 2018 season as a Chukar. And the pitch to Ayoke is a foul tip. 0-1 the count. Most of the folks have stuck around. One on, 2 outs. 3-1 Rocky Mountain. They scored 2 in the 6th to take the lead. There's a strike called, 0-2. They added an insurance run in the 7th. They scored 1 in the 5th, then 2 in the 6th to take the 3-1 lead. Chukars are left 10 men on base. 0-2, Rodriguez to Ayoke. And the pitch is on the way. Fly ball, right field. Back goes Sam Little going back. He's going to be on the warning track. He makes the catch in front of the All-American sign in right field. Warning track power, but that'll do it for the Vibes. They go no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 9th. We need some Melaleuca magic. It's Chukars down by a 3-1 score.
Bottom of the 9th, Vibes 3, Chukars 1. Lopez trying for a 3-inning, 9-out save. Vibes trying to scavenge 1 of the 6 games here in this series. Steele, Manji, Webb Little, the first 3 hitters for the Chukars in the bottom of the 9th. They need 2 runs to tie, 3 to go home. If they do, they will sweep this 6-game series from Rocky Mountain, but a lot of work to do first. Got to get a man on. Chuck Steele, 1 for 3. stands at the plate. Ready to face Lopez for the first time. First pitch, a strike on the inside, fastball at 87, strike one. Tyler Petersen and John Balginy with you. Bottom of the ninth, last chance for the Chukars. We've seen them twice in the bottom of the ninth at home. They've scored in each bottom of the ninth. Second pitch, changeup taken for strike two, 0-2. So now Steele has to protect. Lopez on 0-2, swung on and missed. Steele swings through a ball, and there's one out in the ninth. That'll bring up Alexis Monge.
Not what the Chukars wanted there, Tyler.
Nope.
They just need one base runner.
Let's see if Monge can be that base runner. He's been on twice, he's walked twice, but he's 0 for 2. Monge steps in. Lopez from the stretch with one out in the ninth. First pitch, strike on the outside, and these Chukars hitters being patient right now. Chuck took the first 2 pitches for 2 strikes. Monge takes the first pitch he sees for a strike. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball in the dirt, 0-2. Some job by this pitching staff from the Vibes today. Lopez has done extremely well in relief. 5 pitches, 5 strikes. Here's the pitch to Monge. This is fouled over behind first base. This will reach the first base pinch area and go foul. Webb Little on deck. Andrew Dawn in the hole. Chukars want to get at least one base runner on here. One and 2 to Monge with one out. Pitch to the plate. Ground ball down the third base line. Foul. Monge fighting off the pitches from Lopez. If you're Monge, you want to put the ball on the ground or keep it a line drive low. He can get on via the infield hit. You want to see something sharply hit on the infield. 0-2 pitch. That is taken for a strike 3, called at the knees. Monge is gone, and there are 2 outs in the ninth.
And you know what, Tyler? That looked pretty darn good from where we sit.
Looks pretty darn good to me.
Hit the outside corner of the plate, knee high.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Lopez, and he is trying to polish off a 9-out save. Can Webb Little extend this ball game? 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Chukars trail 3-1. First pitch to Webb is high for ball 1. They're down 2. Dawn on deck. A lot of power there. Butcher in the hole. A lot of power there. Webb needs to get on. Pitch to the plate. Fastball outside, 2-0. And the question is, do you take on 2-0, or if it's a good pitch, do you swing away? Lopez is set. Quick worker. Pitch to the plate. That is high, 3-0. And now you're going to take this one. This can be 25 miles an hour down the heart of the plate, but Webb Little will be taking here. He takes it. It's right down the middle, and it's a called strike 1. So now Webb's swinging away. Needs to get on for Dawn. Pitch to the plate, swung on, ground ball toward first. This will be a fair ball. It's off of the first baseman's glove. Barfield throws to first in time to get Webb Little, and the game is over. Rocky Mountain gets one of the 6 games in this series. They win the final game of this series after the Chukars took the first 5. They win 3-1, and we will have our wrap-up post-game show right after this on KSPZ 980.
Hello once again, everybody. John Balginy, Tyler Petersen back at Melaleuca Field. Well, this crazy game of baseball, Chukars outscored the Vibes 90-29 in the first 5 games. That's an average of 18-6 per ball game. And you come into the 6th game of the series, and lo and behold, the Chukars could manage only 1 run on 7 hits, and credit Rocky Mountain pitching and Rocky Mountain defense as the Vibes defense turned 4 double plays.
What did we say at the beginning of this broadcast? At the very top of this broadcast, we said, in professional sports, even in amateur sports, anywhere, you never write off your opponent. We watched night after night after night after night after night the Chukars just taking this team to task. 20 runs, 16 runs, 16 runs, 24 runs, 23 runs, whatever it was. It was laughers. Now, Rocky Mountain is going to feel good about this bus trip going home, picking up 1 win. They needed this win. They were on a 7-game losing streak, and now it's the Chukars who fall to 9-6.
Chukars scored their lone run in the bottom of the 1st inning. It was a walk by Manji. Webb Little reached on a fielder's choice. Andrew Don hit a ball down the right field line. The right fielder Nunez tried to make the spectacular catch, did not come up with it. Andrew Don had an RBI triple, and that was it. Chukars did not score for the rest of the ball game. Meanwhile, the Vibes tied the game up in the 5th inning. It was a walk, a single, a sac fly by Brandon Perez. Then in the 6th inning, it was a single by Salazar. Barfield laid down a sac bunt. Antonio Villascusa singled, and then an error on the left fielder, but then a walk, and Plantiers double scored run number 3. Run number 4 was cut off at the plate. But tonight, credit the Vibes. They came in, they did everything they needed to do, and they win the final game of this 6-game series. We'll take this final break, be back with some scores, and to wrap things up here on KSPZ. Welcome back to Melaleuca Field. Rocky Mountain defeats the Chukars by a 3-1 score. We'll check the final numbers of tonight's ball game. No action in the Kansas City Royals minor league chain, so let's go right to the very short major league scoreboard.
Yeah, quiet night around baseball. Red Sox beat the Marlins 5-3 for their 5th straight win, and then 2 more games still in progress. In the top of the 9th, it's Royals 3, Angels 8. And in the bottom of the 6th, it's Padres 5, Cubs 3. And that's your Major League scoreboard.
In the Pioneer League, all the games still going on. In the top of the 9th inning, Missoula leads Boise 10-8. Top of the 9th in Ogden, the Raptors lead Grand Junction 17-10. And in the bottom of the 9th in Billings, Great Falls leads Billings by a 10-5 score. Your official line for tonight's game for the victorious Rocky Mountain Vibes: 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. They left 8 men on base. And for the Chukars, 1 run on 7 hits. They commit 4 errors tonight, and they left 10 men on base. Winning pitcher was Aaron Solis, the youngster out of Houston, Texas. He went 6 innings, gave up just 1 run, and Jonathan Lopez works a 3-inning save. So Lease 1-0 on the season. Lopez his first save. Tough luck loser was Jake Binder. His record drops to 2-1. No home runs were hit in the game that took 3 hours and 16 minutes to play in front of a crowd of 1,661. So the Chukars, they go 6-3 on this homestand, and they'll be on the road, Grand Junction, for the next 6 games. Be back here on the 16th of June. That's 9 days from now. And it's time now for our Domino's Pizza Player of the Game. And tonight we're going to go with Nate Jenkins.
Yeah, you know, coming out of the bullpen, he got out of a jam, as did so many Chukars pitchers today. But Nate kept them in this ball game, went 1 1/3 inning, only allowed 1 hit, no walks, no Ks, no runs. So in a low-scoring game where there wasn't much offense, the bullpen kept this game close. We'll give it to Nate today. But, yeah, spare a thought for Jake Binder, who takes the tough luck loss, what I would call a Matt Cain loss in some of those early years from the Giants. He would always get only about 1 or 2 runs of run support and would take the L. And so Jake, his 3rd really good start of the year, but he drops to 2-1.
Bright note, the Chukars bullpen, 3 straight nights. Tyler, they have not given up a run in 3 straight games.
And we talked to Bob Malaki about that. He said that these guys are starting to find a little bit of a groove now. You're getting more reps now. The rust is off now. We're 15 games in, and they look good out of that bullpen.
Once again, the final score tonight's game from Melaleuca Field, it was Rocky Mountain 3 and Idaho Falls 1. The next Chukars game will be on Wednesday night against Grand Junction in Grand Junction. And, of course, Tyler's going to have all the play-by-play for the next 6 road games against the Rockies. Until then, for Tyler, I'm John Balginy, reminding you that Chukars Baseball is a presentation of Sandhill Media. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, videos, and accounts of this game is prohibited under the express written consent of the Pioneer League, Sandhill Media, and KSPZ The Sports Zone. Tonight, the Chukars lost by the score of 3-1. Good night, everybody. Good night, Jim.